All right. What's good, everybody? Welcome again to another edition, another stream by Chaos Rain. Let me see what's going on as I look through the YouTube streams. And I'm just going through the selection. And as I always, as you come in the building, please like the video. Please, if you have my moderators on deck, please, share the link that you see on top. Give people like another minute before I go into this discussion. My perspective, my views. And I will share the link because I know some brothers want to come on and have this discussion. We'll see how this goes. Another thing. Oh, sorry, guys. Another thing, as y'all know, I've been on this now for some time now. And the one thing I tell any person that's going to start this journey of content creating, you always got to know the journey you start out will not be a quick start. But like always, the way how you started, you got to always finish it. So don't be discouraged in anything you do, whether you're doing podcasts, blog talks, or even YouTube. You keep on pushing on. You might not see the growth now, but if you keep being consistent and continue doing the work, it's going to show and it's going to give the proper effects and results you're looking for. That's one word of encouragement for those who are, still skeptical of, taking the life of or doing these type of streams and shows. And as everybody wait, I'll probably, let me see. I think I missed one thing to share on here. Let me see if I could do that. Let me just check up. Okay, so I might have to reshare back the link. So give me 1 second, people. I have to find the link. Actually, no, I don't have to find the link. I'll just type it right here now. All right. Okay. The first thing is my Cash App to donate to the stream or to Chaos Rain channel. The second link I will share is my Twitter. And the Twitter is where you could follow me. If you have questions or any articles, you could post on my Twitter page. I know Twitter is so, very unique in its way. It's not sophisticated like Facebook per se. And then eventually I will have to put my Facebook page for my channel as well. So be patient. That'll be coming soon. I'm just trying to get everything set up, make sure everything's growing properly, and everything will be, laid out so people can know where to, what they call it, find me, communicate with me, and send me articles or latest things so I could keep in touch with y'all. I'm trying to find that piece. Where is that? Oh, this one. This might be it. Because is this? Yeah. All right. So let me go onto my Twitter. Okay. And this is my Twitter as I pulled up now. Oh God, what's going on? People trying to log into Twitter. Let me try this again. All right, let me try this one more time, guys, because it's getting my nerves now. Okay. All right. Let me start my show. I will have to write down my new password because it's not working. All right. So no further ado, I will begin. Can anybody hear me good? Need some feedback? That sound good? Let me know. All right. When I get the information, I'll put it on Twitter. But let's go into the subject matter. And one other thing I do want to make an announcement. There will be an upload sometime this week on a show I did, so be on lookout. If you're not subscribed to the channel, like I said, when you subscribe, there are 3 options during the bell. Depending on what option you pick from the bell is depending on how much of a notification you will know that I have sent from my channel. That way it notifies you that I uploaded or I'm live. So pick wisely with the 3 options. The top button is all notification. The middle one is moderate, not much or less notification. And the last one is, optional, which I think the last part of the bell is you might not get much notification at all, but you are subscribed to the channel. So anytime, depending on the channel, you might know I'm live. So pick wisely when you pick all 3 bells. So you got to pick one out of the 3 bells. Okay. I'm gonna stop looking one more time. And I'm gonna soon share the link. Yeah, that's nice, Von Shay. That's cute. And I might share a link. You want to come up later, Von Shay? Don't fall asleep now. This ain't gonna be boring, Miss Von Shay. All right. So why is this title Mothers? You give your sons to your fathers, or lack of better words, if I remember what it's called, mothers, should you give your sons to the father or to the father? One the other way to call it. And why I title it like this? It's simple. I'm starting those lately as a trend in regards to the development of these boys that become men. Some have come like shit, and some have came out of it fine, or so-called been fine after being raised by one parent most of their life, which most like is the average they're raised by is a mother, a single mother. Now, whether by choice or circumstance, the development of these boys are always left in the hands to their caregiver or that actual parent or guardian. And the way how their development in life, how they develop as boys psychologically, not just physical, but psychologically, and grow into younger adults, it's always the determined factor what they're gonna be in life and to society. So why I say that should you give your sons to the fathers? Let's go back to a movie that came out 1991. We all know the movie called Boys in the Hood. Yeah, remember that movie? And one of the scenes from Boys in the Hood, and I forgot most of the characters' names because it's been a while since I watched it, and you think some of these movies that we constantly playing on BT or those so-called black medias or black TV shows, which really is controlled by European/Us, that it will stick in your head the players of the game, the actors, and the names of the characters. But sometimes it slipped my mind. on the average. So if anybody can help me, if you know the names of the characters I'm talking about, please put it in the chat. There was a scene of the mother raising his son up till he reached, like, I believe around 12 years old, maybe 11 or 12, most likely. And for one reason, she always gave her son specific instructions to what she expects out of him and wants out of him. And obviously, the son at that age, because he's a young boy, abides by it to the best of his ability. And one thing is clear: when that thing happened during school where they were teaching about history, and he was confronted with the teacher to, I guess, correct the teacher of something in history. And one particular black boy, little nigga, for lack of better terms, I'm gonna be nice, up here kind of confront the boy, tell him that he'll have him get killed in these streets or have his brother smoke him. Now, mind you, why is it that I'm finding, and that, remember, this is just a movie, and whether it's reality or not, it's a good example now for this discussion, that a boy at the same age as him would tell another young boy that he will get smoked and killed. I'll tell you why. Because he's been raised through his environment, which mostly being under the wing of a single mother, on average. Besides government policy played into it, but for sake of conversation, this boy was upbringing to see what is a form of masculinity by killing another man, particularly a black man. And the sad thing about, him and the boy got in a little fight, and then he probably got suspended. And as he came home, his mother had to sit them redirect him to that little paper pamphlet, what the things he should and should not do. And the mother came to the point where she knows that, and mind you, not every mother gets this. And mind you, during that time, that was during the 80s. And we look at 30 years later, nothing really has changed per se in regards the direction between mother and son. But the mother of that same child decided, since I'm still in close proximity to his father, and I'm not gonna refer to baby daddy because I don't know if they were married, but she decided, and mind you, the reason why she came to the decision because she knows that the path her son's going now, if he's not taking the simple instructions from her, that means by the time he gets a little older, he's gonna be wild, rambunctious, out of control. Hell, she can't even control him now, and he's not even a full-fledged teenager yet. So imagine when he gets 13, 14, hell, even 15 years old, taller, strong as his mother can't control him. So, like a woman that has some sense, before she said the boy, she had a sit-down discussion with the father. And she made a compromise with the father, saying, as much times that she tried to do it, she can't raise me this boy to become a man. And that's a very powerful scene, if y'all think about it. Because she was underlined that this woman had to make a conscious and logical decision for the future of her offspring, especially her son. And a lot of people did not really take heed to that message or understand the symbolic of it all. And mind you, that movie came out in 1991, Boys in the Hood. That movie is 28 years old. So imagine if the woman, and she's only one movie, Angela Bassett, that plays the mother, had a firm conclusion that says she can't raise this boy to become a man. She made the ultimate, I like to call sacrifice, which really shouldn't be called sacrifice because you should do this anyway, to give the boy to the father. And that's what she did. So what you see now because he was under a wing of a masculine presence, that his son, even throughout the whole entire movie, he came out all right and came out and left the hood and became some productive as a productive citizen of not only his community, but within this nation. So it comes back to this question: mother, should you give your sons to the father? Now, I have some women here that's in this chat room, and I'm gonna go back and forth, and I want the answers from you ladies. If you have sons right now, and please keep it real. If you do have children, not boys, I want honest opinion, and I want the people in the chat room to repeat this. Would you really give your son to the father? What inclination you have of holding your sons, besides if you are collecting a check from the government? What purpose you have your sons now under your wing? Is it for control? Is it for spite from the father? Or is really you don't want to deal with the shame, with the stigma that you're a bad parent if you let your son be raised by the actual father? Is one of those three things. It's the question you should ask yourself. And I pose this question because I would like to get some answers. And the funny thing about all this is that we're not being honest as collective people, especially when it comes to women. And you complain about the men you deal with in your life now, but they forgot said they were once young and was raised by a parent, whether single or with two. But we all know on the average, most of these children are raised today in our society by one parent. Whether the percentage is greater than 50%, it's evident that they've been raised by one parent. So as I get in line, let me make this 1 second. Hey, what's up, Charles? I'm not sure if you're busy. Yeah, hey, I mean, you're subscribed to my channel, Charles? Yeah. I don't know if you got the notification. I've created a subject, and it's titled "Mother, should you give your sons to the father?"
Oh man, that's kind of boy. You asked me.
Now, mind you, Charles. Now, mind you, has anybody ever talked about this? I'm the only one that talk about this. I don't think no one in these type of streams have ever talked about and asked this question.
Person went to YouTube to talk about this in depth.
Yeah. I'm live right now, so I'm not sure if you want to add on to this. I already said a little bit. I used the example of the Boys in the Hood scenario when the mother couldn't deal with that son that got in a fight in school because she laid some ground rules and he broke it. So it's not the first time he broke enough rules. So she decided to have a conversation with the father and kind of submit her will to relinquish all rights and power to the boy, to the father.
What she should have.
Yeah.
Because at that moment, she should have, in my personal opinion, she should have gave the boy to the father earlier.
Okay. Yeah.
He probably wouldn't have got in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, that's the shit that gets me a lot of times when it comes to those scenarios, because we'll be the ones always asking what the fuck happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of these scenarios, when you look at the Boys in the Hood, are preventable. Because what's happening in schools and in the homes is that in white culture, masculinity is celebrated. So the father's going to take him out hunting, fixing the car, doing all kinds of shit. If not, at least the grandfather. So when we look at these scenarios, what good is the boy? If he's being downgraded, what good is he?
Huh.
Because at the end of the day, we look at this boy and we treat him, we put him in a society that says, you're not even worthy to be, you're not even worth anything because you're a man.
Yeah.
How the fuck did you feel?
That
Shit's over your masculinity. I mean, take a deep, dark shit on your masculinity.
yeah.
And oddly enough, you get into these scenarios of like, why are these boys committing crimes? Crime is only just the expression of desperation.
Mm-hmm.
Crime is what you call when you can't control your boy. That's what you're gonna get.
You're gonna get a criminal.
You cannot give him creativity. It's gonna be a motherfucking criminal.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately for these boys out here, we set them up for failure, man. We set them up for failure. And you don't even have people who invest in their boys. And wherever I go to wherever things I like to do, you'll see my son and even his best friend go.
Mm-hmm.
And I just look at this shit. Where do you see your sons?
Mm-hmm.
And I challenge every mother with that. Where do you see your sons? Do you see your sons as great, or do you see them? He can't take care of himself.
Mm-hmm. You know, I see somebody, Miss Von Shea, put something in the chat room, and I'll read it. She said, there are other components you aren't addressing. Those 3 reasons aren't the only reasons as to why a mother might not be willing to give their child to their father.
Well, your page or is it Gabs? I mean, not Gabs, Arts.
What about Art? No, this is Von Shea, you know, lady from Amiri's channel.
Yeah. You gotta love how I'm shutting people down, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See,
yeah.
That's the reason why you and I make such a great team, because you'll think of some shit and you'll let me flow, or you'll flow with it.
Yeah.
We'll feed off each other.
Yeah, okay, yeah, most definitely.
And the craziness of it all is this. You can't have somebody saying we want our boys to do better, and these chicks are just undermining their sons.
Mm-hmm.
They're undermining the fuck out of their sons.
They make them more complacent, lazy, if you think about it.
Lazy, but they treat them like bodyguards or slaves.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
They treat them like bodyguards or slaves. And at the end of the day, what do you get out of it? Eat and go to bed. Because guess what? It's my fault. I'll take the hit for that. But y'all want to sleep in quiet. My foot will go in your ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Hey, oh, yeah. I also send you the link just in case if you got cut off. I just sent a link to the yard so you can come up if it's an option. And think about this, Charles. It's like this. When we talk about the development of these boys that became men, and I hear the issue with a lot of sisters in the community about the men, how they can't do this and that. But it goes back again. Remember, these men became boys, and they've been raised and groomed to be not only not accountable, but don't understand how to lead themselves.
Do me a favor.
Yes.
Go to YouTube, look up Outlaw Stars or anime.
Okay.
And it's Outlaw Star. Put a space in it. A boy has a right to dream.
All right. Wait, I think I remember that. Is that a guy with the gun? Outlaw Stars?
The space travel with the gun.
Yeah, and had like a tiger and a set of team.
Like a tiger, a woman, and a samurai.
Yeah, I remember that TV series. Yeah.
Go look up real quick. As soon as you get off the phone, look up Outlaw Star, A Boy Has a Right to Dream.
On YouTube?
Yep, on YouTube.
Let me do that now.
It does not play. If it does not play, hold it.
Let me see if I could do that.
Yeah.
Outlaw Star. Outlaw Stars. All right.
Tell me what you think about that. That's gonna really be indicative of what you're saying now.
Oh, this looks different. Yeah, I don't know if I remember watching this. Which is a certain episode? I'm seeing a bunch of stuff right now.
Look at it. It says it has A Boy Has a Right to Dream.
All right, let me see if I can find it.
And tell me if that little poem deals with what black boys are going through now.
Matthew, let me type it instead. Outlaw Star Boy. There you go. I found it. Let me see if this will play it. All right, it's 1 minute. I'm going to run this now, guys. So bear with me. It might not sound well, but let's see.
A boy has the right to dream. There are endless possibilities stretched out before him. What awaits him down the path, he will then have to choose. The boy doesn't always know. At some point, the boy then becomes an adult and learns what he was able to become. Joy and sadness forever will accompany this. He is confronted with a choice. When this happens, does he bid his past farewell in his heart? Once a boy becomes an adult, he can no longer go back to being a boy. The boy is now a man. Only one thing can be said. A boy has the right to dream. For those endless possibilities are stretched out before him. We must remember, all men were once boys.
All right.
Kind of deep a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was deep. Can anybody hear that? Give me one if y'all heard that. But yeah, I like that message. You're right. They can't reverse. Once the boy becomes an adult, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Everything that he developed from his younger years carries on to him as adult life. And it goes back to Lale's complaint about how these dudes are not, let's say, not only respectful, but they don't seem like they hold accountability or whatever the little areas, flaws that y'all see these men have. They developed this by that one parent. It was most likely it's their mother.
And then the crazy part about it is this. The crazy part about it is that when you realize that all boys, like she said, all boys are right to dream. But it seems as though society, their mothers, always take that shit away from them. Take it away from them.
Mm-hmm.
And they go out of their way to do such.
Yeah.
They go out of their fucking way to take away the right to drink. And people will say, well, these boys, no, you gotta remember, all men were once boys, so where did the boys originate?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they originate as, you know, as a child, came out the womb.
As a boy.
A boy, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you're telling me that all boys have a right to drink, why are we becoming drink killers?
Good question.
Like, where have we nurtured our boys to drink? Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my son's best friend, you might as well call him my second son. Everybody else does. You don't hear me. You don't hear me like stealing their dreams away, saying you can't be the. If anything, I'm almost disappointed when they're not doing the best that they can.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that we put our boys in the positions to be leaders and winners. See, matter of fact, send me the link to that damn stream.
Yeah, check your email. I sent to you now.
I don't know if people can hear me say this shit because this is some good shit I'm talking.
Yeah, well, jump on the panel so we get there. All right. Yeah, that's Charles. So he'll be joining me sooner. And if anybody wants me to drop the link into the chat room, please let me know now. I will. Mostly this is gonna be a male discussion, most likely. I'll get some perspective from some ladies on this. But tonight, I want to keep it, in a masculine form. You feel me, ladies? But yeah, as you come to the like the video, please. I would appreciate it. Yeah, what's up, Kenneth? I'm gonna soon drop the link in the chat room. If you've been listening, Kenneth, you probably missed some things. Don't worry about it. But like I said, the power and the responsibility of these children that will become men is solely up to you women. I can't speak about the fathers because some of us that's on their game, they know what to do. But the ones that, just lick and neglect their responsibilities and all they want or anything, nothing to do with you or the children, but just send out a piece of check. Oh, it's very bad. It's very bad. And, when they say that, and I think Amiri said best when ladies got to choose better, he's not lying. But like I said, when you're not in a mindset of trying to be in the venting process, it can be a problem. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up? You still on?
Yeah, I'm on right now, man.
Can you hear me? How do I sound?
You sound loud and clear. You sound perfect, man. I don't know what device you got, man. But you sound perfect.
Okay, good, because I wanna bring something out here because see, this is what I said. Like everybody acting like something has changed or not. We just never had the debates in an intellectual debate. Neutral setting their asses is food. As soon as I'm in the mood, you know what I mean? Because everybody acting like what I've been saying is incorrect or something. And the reason why is because I'm just going over some of my sources.
Mm-hmm.
And even within Black nationalism, there were Black women's organizations that advocated for women's rights,
Mm-hmm.
the right of suffrage,
Yeah,
the right for self-determination. These things, feminist mantras. Just going by Dr. Tommy Curry's feminist dude.
Mm-hmm.
I get his point, but I think the problem here is when we fail to realize that feminism has its roots in Europe, not America.
Exactly. It was born in Europe. I mean, born in America. If you think about it,
it was born in Europe.
Oh, it was in Europe? Okay, so how long ago feminism been in existence in Europe before it came here? Okay.
Hold on. I think I want to say the 1700s, and that's what I.
Oh, damn, that's a long time.
They were pondering those things before they even got here, like in philosophy, like the forms of government.
Okay.
And that's what I've been trying to tell everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the framework of the government that America dealt with has its origins
in Europe,
in the philosophies of European thinkers, European socio-political.
But if you okay, go ahead, finish. Go finish.
European socio-political thinkers,
mm-hmm.
And so even the term feminism itself was coined by a Frenchman, not a woman, but a Frenchman.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and so when you use Dr. Tommy Curry's premise, I think it falls apart on the basis that it doesn't have its origins in American society, but European society, which goes to my larger point. Not that I'm disregarding this point, because I think that's in effect what it did. I'm not saying that. I'm just merely saying that I don't believe it was just some ploy. I think that there's just was an intra-group conflict amongst whites, amongst Europeans about these things, and that we just got caught up in it in America. As a second-class citizen, as a subjugated race, we got caught up in that intra-group conflict as collateral damage. See, but the larger point here is that Black women, aside in part from any influence from white women, were already advocating for the rights of women because they themselves weren't subject to Black men, but they were subject to white men. Yeah. And this is the truth. What we want to do, we want to try and pretend as if Black men served as a buffer class between Black women and white men, which that's
not true.
That's false. That's not true. You see, so but we've never gotten to the intellectualism about these debates, and that's just the fact, So I was just doing some reading of my sources on it. Harriet Tubman was the founder of, I think, the National Association of Colored Women. And like I was telling Gab on his channel, Anna Julia Cooper, she was a Black nationalist and she was a Black feminist. See, so these things weren't polarized like it is now. This is what I've been telling everybody: you're majoring in the minor because the fact is that you're going to have to deal with it one way or the other because the white man. You see, so what's going to happen? You're just going to end up right where you started. You see, so when we like demonizing these things and vilifying these things, creating a polarized environment is the problem. You see, so that's just what I was looking at just now before you called me.
When you mentioned that a lot of the concepts come from Europe, people should also be known that all Europeans, whether Irish, Jews, wherever national tribe they come from, their thinking and philosophies come from their homeland, which is Europe. So when they came to this land, they brought not only their aggression, but their thoughts, their thinking. And eventually, and I think they also brought books too, because usually all the other people that thought and philosophies, they carry that same books with them to read up here and apply here in America. Most everything, if you look at everything from government law and all the little things, it still derives from Europe.
Right? Yeah, it does.
Even the laws itself. You look at some of the laws that they always to protect themselves.
Like the concepts. Some of the laws, like the poor laws. That's what I was telling BGS and them about like child support. Child support is at the 13 colonies. See, it was at the 13 colonies because it originated in the poor laws of Europe. Who is that? Alexander, I can't think of his last name, but he wrote a book because in Europe it was known as pauperism.
Okay.
Pauperism is another word for charity or welfare. So that's how they was dealing with it in Europe even at that time. But what I was telling you about earlier when I was talking about this source I had talking about white space, I think it's called white socio-spatial epistemology. And I'm going to read this. It says, as Morrison describes the trace of African American other within white America, it is no accident and no mistake that immigrant populations understood their Americanness as opposition to the resident Black population. See that? The very idea of what it means to be American is predicated upon mistreatment of ADOS Americans, Black Americans. And this is something I wanted to bring up, and I might touch on it tomorrow when I do my show, dealing with how in the movie American Gangster, where Frank Lucas was peddling poison to his own people, he was an American gangster. See, so the very idea of what it means to be American is predicated on opposition and mistreatment of Black people. So we don't even catch nuances like that where they called it American gangster. See?
Yeah.
American gangster. See that? So
Mhm.
these are the types of things I like to touch on and understandings I like to expose. You know, and tomorrow I'll be dealing with showing how that there are many manifestations of hold on. There are many manifestations of swirling. See, but we
Okay.
only want to, but a lot of these pro-blacks only want to conceptualize it as a sexual act. When I'm saying no, it's much more than that. It's much more intricate and nuanced than that. Psychological than that.
Mhm.
You see,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be dealing specifically with the cocaine, the crack cocaine epidemic.
Okay.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, guys.
Okay. Yeah. As you know, that was a great liberator. Yeah. The history shows evident, you know. And one thing is clear when we talk about why even the black men today acts the way, I mean, besides our people in this country, because what they have gone through, the mental illness, the abuse, the physical, and going through stages from Jim Crow to certain laws that were unfavorable for them, that our people fought, and they kept fighting to the point where, you know, once they gotten a little sippet of getting close to whiteness, everything ceased. The men that used to either couldn't find a job or couldn't make a job for themselves, they started depending on the environment itself, because usually men oppose environment. They kind of took a back seat, and a lot of them were very much. And you know, I use the word derelict now, just like everybody uses it, and it's being used pretty loosely. But that's what it is when it comes to a lot of men in their responsibilities. So now the women have to, you know, manage to do without with some of the men, you know. And what has happened, they've created a snare, a survival mechanism to start training mostly their daughters to be this independent and to work. And the funny for a lot of dudes, and it goes back to the same stream that Amiri did a few days ago, how a lot of these dudes sit here and think that a woman choosing certain government assistance was like a betrayal, and don't understand the large picture of women's nature. That, you know, she will find ways to survive, or she'll eventually die, or make her children die starving, one or the other. And because this result in the survival method a lot of women take on, it kind of did a detriment to the young boys. Because yeah, the boys might be able to eat the next day, but in regards to their development to becoming men is starting to starve and lack. And what happens, these boys imitate their mothers from their mannerisms, their behaviors, their loudness, boisterous, even to the point where, you know, the accountability. And it tells where, you know, when I hear dudes complain about, you know, why women don't take account and we should hold this woman accountable, they're not lying. But the problem is, if most dudes are aware of this and they catch wind of this, why are you as a man? And this is me saying to most of these dudes to get this message and understand this message clear. Why are you not taking your son away from that mother? Because the only thing what's going to happen, as the mother acts a certain way towards you, what do you think is going to happen to your son? Being under her for 18 more years? That's another question I should ask a lot of these dudes. Because the female nature doesn't really change much. And I know a lot of these cats be harping it and putting out there. I always ask, you mean female nature entirely, or only a set or a specific race of a female? But when we ask the real serious questions, we're going to find a real answer to the problem. Even this discussion alone, having this about the woman will you give your son to the fathers? A lot of women will have precedent. They will still make the excuse why they won't do it, or whatever the case may be. Even the dude is not around, or Casey. Okay, I get that. But if the dude didn't want nothing to do with you, and either you caught wind of it or he's showing his colors now, it shows the L you're going to be taking, ladies. And it depends what age you are now. And most of you, on the average, most of you are having children now in your 20s. They're not having like when you're teenagers at this time, because the percentage now of most women giving birth to children under the age of 18 has actually curved down. It's cut back. One time this number was prevalent back in the 90s, but it took a slight dip during the mid to late 2000s, going on to 2010s. So I don't see like a lot of women out here giving birth to children at under the age of 18 or more on the average. Most of you are giving birth might be still pushing around 20s. Hell, some of them even later as 30s. And you still have not figured this out or gotten that. All right, Charles is in the chat room, so let me open him up. Yes, Charles, welcome. Let me see if my jog's working. Oh, you're on, so when you're ready, you unmute yourself. Yeah. So I said this in grace and goodness in my heart, that you ladies, if you have sons that's not teenagers yet or are touching teenagers, and regardless of giving you a hard time or not, it will be wise, depending on your relationship with that father or your baby daddy, whatever you want to call him, it's time for him to go and be with him. Now, it goes back again that who you pick is going to be representation, how your son's going to develop moving forward into his, I guess, boy stage to his teenage stage to his adult, going into his adult, is very vital in the 21st century. Not vital now because we left a century, we're on to a new century. And the way how the environment is now, the way how you raise these boys or try to raise them or put him in some position to better himself is very vital. You cannot afford your son to be and fall under the wayside and the gutter of the system, both in the criminal system and through the lack of manhood, where they're going to turn homosexual and all this craziness. And normally, usually that is also a result if your son or daughter has been touched by either a man or woman, which either you know or not, you have to keep in mind. I mean, I know there was a statistic one time, and if Charles, when you're ready to open up, let me know. Okay, now he's ready. Yeah. I think you said a number statistic, Charles, of the chance of children, boys and girls, getting abused by just by one household. What's that percentage?
A child is 3. Oh, must be a feedback somewhere. A child is 3 to 4 times more likely to be abused in a single mother home compared to a single father home.
Yeah.
The statistics are even lower when you have both parents in play. Think of that. See, I don't know if everybody heard that Outlaw Star poem, A Boy Has a Right to Dream. I've literally heard that about almost 20 years ago. And that shit made me think. One thing I appreciate about anime, that shit is very deep. People may look at it as like, oh, it's a cartoon with animated features. See, anime is not made for little kids, but it makes little kids think. Get my drift. It broadens their horizons. So, when he said a boy has a right to dream and there's endless possibilities stretched out before them, in the Black community, we do the complete opposite. We close those opportunities. The Black boy is in the same position as a pit bull in the Black community. Sit in the corner and shut the fuck up until we need you to attack or look fearsome, or to make us money if you're a good enough athlete, or beat up my boyfriend who I shouldn't have been with in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
With this, carry that.
Mm-hmm.
You still look at us as slaves.
Mm-hmm.
When everybody else looks at us as gods.
Facts.
And I don't blame the mothers all the time. Believe it or not, I'm actually an advocate for Black mothers. Am I not, Curious?
Yeah, you always advocate. Yeah.
I always give them suggestions to make sure they can do the best possible situations for their sons if the father's not there. But I
Mm-hmm.
also will preach the greatest gift a mother can give is the best father she could possibly have that child by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Verse vice to the same goes to the father. If you want your son to be cultured and to learn many things, learn who that mother's going to be, because that child in its formative years is going to spend a lot of time with that mother.
Indeed. Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a creator, a maintainer, and a destroyer just because he's a male.
Yeah.
If you want to maintain the culture, that's why we look at sim culture. Sim culture isn't maintained by the female, it's maintained by the male.
Yeah.
Look at all the white knights coming out there.
Mm-hmm.
You get more feedback from the males than the goddamn females.
Indeed.
I got more women at times agreeing to me than with the males.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell can you say, look, this is the best that she could have done? And even the mother said I could have took a different avenue.
Yeah.
Even Von Shay said last night that there's women who lie about birth control.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. Yeah. I remember that.
But then you get the men who won't even teach them. Look, at least Kenneth had the audacity and the courage to tell his son, you should not get that woman. You should protect yourself at all times like a goddamn UFC or boxing or a wrestling match.
Mm-hmm. How many
But at,
fathers?
the,
Yeah.
but at the same time, when you go into a fight, which is sex, and everything counts against you, what can you possibly do but
Mm-hmm.
not have it? But you know you're wrong if you tell human beings be careful who you sleep by and don't have sex. But people look at you weird when you say don't have sex. If you're scared, be scared.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Love you. That's
See
my
that?
son. He always says good night and I love you.
Mm-hmm.
See, the problem is that true masculinity knows when to yield to a superior intellect and knowledge and strength and perseverance. See, we confuse masculinity for foolhardiness. Masculinity is what makes females still look their best. Don't you go out there and shovel snow off your car, baby. I'm gonna do it for you. You know what? I want you to stay pretty.
That's right.
One of my wrestlers, because he lives closer to the school than he does at his home, asked his mom even asked, can he stay the night and just go to school from your house tonight? Cool. But guess what? You got to
Mm-hmm.
pay the tax. You got to clean. You got to sweep. You got to wash dishes. Why? Because you don't live anywhere for free, especially as a man.
That's right.
I'm teaching them lessons early.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my son, you give your damn teachers my phone number. There is no reason why you can't get a hold of me when he's not doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, I'm going to jump in your ass because you work for me.
That's right.
See, true masculinity yields to no one undeserving. Repeat what I just said, Chaos.
True masculinity. Wait, say it one more time so it
True
solidifies.
masculinity yields to no one who's undeserving.
True masculinity yields no one that's not deserving.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So if my lady, who's downstairs now in the room, that big ass room, and she has a better idea than yours truly, I will yield to
Mm-hmm.
her superior intellect. That doesn't make me less of a man, and that doesn't make her my superior.
Mm-hmm.
But she had, for example, I'm always running out of gas. I said, baby, do this. Take $80 to $100 every check. You have a truck just like I do. It takes about $42 to fill that son bitch up.
That's right.
By the time you keep doing this, you'll have more than enough gas every payday. You probably won't even reach half a tank by the time you get paid. And she said, baby, you know what? That's right. You're good at it.
Mm-hmm.
See, my lady, she's a director of a learning center. So she got several teachers under her. And she was learning that she figured out my son had trouble with his vocabulary. So we
Okay.
sat down and formulated a plan. And I had to yield to her superior knowledge in her field. And I was like, you know what, baby, you're right. So I started going into the dictionary for her son and my son, who are best friends, and started breaking down the words phonetically and give them vocabulary words and give them the words to spell, pronounce, and I made them write down in a composite notebook the definitions. Is that not black teamwork, or is that not black teamwork?
That's what we call B1. Black first.
Exactly. Don't talk black one to me if you ain't start with your goddamn family first. You hear
That's
me?
right. That's right. They better know that.
If you want to see change, your ass better be changing first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you talk all this good shit, Officer Faulkner. Guess what? How do you know if I know it's failure or possibility?
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. And one thing, I'm Charles. And this is what I like with these conversations. And a lot of ladies don't know when you know you're dealing with an actual man, they know you can trust but got your back. That's when you able to sit down and have a conversation, not just negotiate, but have the conversation. I'm saying, cause we men, we like to hear it out. We want to hear the thing formulate, the plan formulate. Cause we deal with insight. When you deal with an actual man that sit there consciously analyzing and thinking to how he can do things better at a more efficient rate, you got something, you know. But if you always been programmed in the society that you gotta do all bad by yourself, you must do all the things. You're not one man army, ladies. Keep that in mind. No one man army gets shit done.
No, you're paid.
Yes, and so if you're a woman that's coming in it thinking like that, operating like that, you get what you pay for. You get me?
See, this is what happens when I gotta tell the truth to the ladies. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't tell to you. Don't don't come to me. Don't come to me saying some shit that I'm a great woman. You're only as great as your man. I'm only as great as my woman. Yeah, you're great, but we're unbeatable together.
Mm-hmm.
And see, you fail your kids and yourself, not realizing the possibilities that we can have stretched out before us if we go back to that poem. Which, if I was a teacher in a school, I would have all the students write down what that saying says or what it means to you. A boy has a right to dream.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you ever notice in today's society, all the black boys are getting their dreams stripped from them.
All the time.
If we're told that you had one of the most horrific things I've ever seen on Netflix was when Killer Mike told a black boy he wanted to be president of the United States. He said, no, you need to get a job so you can do something. But guess what? Would I be wrong to tell Killer Mike, get your fat ass on a fucking elliptical because your ass can't be a rapper? I'd be wrong to say some shit like that, right?
Oh yeah, you get chastised quick, real quick. But it goes back again. We got a lot of dream killers, and the best thing to keep a black man from his full potential, you kill his dream from the start.
You
And
tell
you know,
them.
it's funny. I remember Mr. Macon said this best, that the Freddy Krueger effect, he's not lying. He is more just is what Freddy Krueger represent. He goes in and kills you in the dream world, and once she kills you in the dream, you die in the physical world physically. And that's what you're seeing today. A lot of black men.
You see it today due to a lot of dudes out there going out there and saying, "Oh, that's not fair. That's not right." But guess what? It may not be fair and right, but that's how the law of nature goes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want your boy to be a cub for the rest of his life, or do you want him to be a goddamn lion ruling his own goddamn pride? Yes, your daughter should be go-getters. What do you think the lionesses of the pride are?
I'll wait. You know?
You know what keeps a woman beautiful? Less stress. You know who's built for stress? Your men.
Yeah. And it comes back to it again, Charles. I hear a lot of men how they talk about, so they want an easy road. They don't want no stress and all stuff. I heard someone said that they rather in their environment or what they're doing, they don't take certain risks or do certain things because they'll be stressful, and they want to live a peaceful, comfortable life. If you have to be peaceful and comfortable as a man, you're not doing nothing.
You know, well, we got a special word for that, man. It's called a coward.
Facts.
Yeah, there was an old Russian proverb I learned when I was wrestling overseas in Germany and Russia. Do not pray for a lighter load, pray for a stronger back.
Mm-hmm.
As a man, I know I'm going to travel the road least walked on, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud that most people can't do what the fuck I've done. That's a beautiful thing
Yes, it is.
because it's a wondrous thing that the average man can't do what you do. Look at the pride in the woman's eyes when she could look in her man's eyes and say, "This man could get me out of fucking danger. He'll fight the greatest of wars. He'll fight every beast in the country as long as I'm good and safe."
Yep. And for those people that know, that's the Twitter to follow me on is Chaos Reign the 7. I dropped it there so y'all can follow me on Twitter as well. I'll be putting some things of the shows on there. If you have any questions or any ideas or anything, you can follow me on Twitter. It'll be good. To continue on this conversation, another thing that I want ladies to get learn well about this. If you're a woman that has an ego issue or pride issue that you might feel you're going to be a bad mother by relinquishing your boys to their fathers, get out of that thinking now. Stop it. Remove those type of so-called programs to decide on how society wants to tell you what a role woman is. You got to look at what is more important. The future development of your sons to come out more well and be the respectable men of society, or do you want to come up and be a loser and fuck up so the next woman could complain bitch about? The choice is yours.
See, the problem with what it is that we develop subpar men and women where the ladies feel as though they can't trust the men when it's your man's job to pull you out of danger and fire. I don't need no man. That's called failure. That's called failure, man. You cannot get the best possible person out of failure. Like, dude, There are stuff that my son's mother has done or failed to do. But guess what? I don't make her look bad in front of my son. There's shit that I gotta eat, sacrifices I gotta make. But what you do is this: you adapt, overcome, and you drive on. My son's mother one time tried to tell me, "Well, you only got one child, I got two. Whose fault is that?" Nobody said have more children than you can afford. Am I correct? I'm like, look, you got to do what everybody else in the world does. You got to take care of them children.
Oh no. Before you continue, Charles, I have another guy on the line. So really, normally from the subject I told you, your take of in regards to the father and son, and if the mother should relinquish and give the son to the father. I'm not sure if you want to clarify from your perspective.
Yes.
Okay. He said yes. Get that, Lace? Yes.
Oh, yes. Is that the professor?
Indeed.
Oh, man. Woo! And hoorah.
Hurrah. Huh?
And whoo to all my fucking army people. In the words of Fort Benning, rock of the motherfucking Marne and follow me.
Oh, one thing, guys. I never if I asked this because you wrote the booklet, the Faulkner Great Faulkner Initiative. Did anything any part of the chapter mention, even with the women, if if they have a son, they should give the sons to the father at a certain time for age, or that was never included?
And that is in there.
Okay, that's fine. That's good. Okay.
But I mean, kind of like a no-brainer, right? Like what? I mean, what's the alternative, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're really gonna in another, I don't know, decade or half century.
Mm-hmm.
Complaining about the men that we should have, but we don't, or give them to men so that they can learn how to be men.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Exactly.
it's really just a matter of what makes sense.
Exactly, Professor. You know, it's funny. Sooner or later, I got to take my son and his best friend to the shooting range. Every time I go into my patrol car, I take a first aid bag. You think?
Oh shit! It's gonna get
You
injured,
think
man.
you think I'm not going to teach them how to do a tourniquet?
Mm-hmm.
How to seal up cuts? If someone
How
gets
to
cut,
sew, how to sew a cut, like
how to sew up a fucking stitch,
Mm-hmm.
how to put a wound. Hell, I might even have to talk to a couple of my exes who were nurses to teach them how to fucking do first aid.
Yeah.
I might have to be like, chick, we don't talk anymore, but guess what? This is more than you and I. This is more than me and you and me.
Yeah.
Because that child is not going to be seen with the benefits of a woman. I'm not upset that women get benefits over us. what makes me upset is when women don't understand they get those benefits over us.
And
And
the
so,
reason why they got it is by the back of black men. Really.
because of the back of our men. That's why I get upset when I said you should never look down upon your men, because that's the same man who says, look, baby, I'm gonna work this motherfucking job. I'm gonna do this overtime. My lady has friends. This man works for the sanitation department of the city. His wife got 2 masters and she's working on a PhD. Off of the back of him working that city truck, working in that sanitation station, making good damn money. And you know what his wife said? Baby, it's your turn.
Mm.
Is that not what the Gray Faulkner Initiative is about? Correct me if I'm wrong, Professor.
No, it's the one it prioritizes boys. See, we were talking about who needs to be organized more, men and women. Women are already organized.
Yes, they are.
Amen.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
What, see, I'm working off of what are the complaints, right? Because to have a solution to something, you got to have a complaint about something, right?
Yeah.
So what's the problem? Oh, not enough stable, upwardly mobile, productive black men. And why is that? It's a lack of institutional power.
Correct.
So we get the boys into the institutions. What happens in a generation? Hell, what happens in the next 10 years?
They become the men that we expected in society.
We get a generation of men that we were supposed to have 2 generations ago.
Exactly. That's right.
Exactly, Professor. See, we're at a deficit where men cannot fail. Men must be the best creatures they can possibly be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want nobody's daughter to say, I've been trained under this person's daughter. Oh, this sorry nigga she got because of Professor Gray and soon to be Sergeant Faulkner said we should get these men. No, nigga, you're gonna say it the right way. We taught them to be the greatest and the latest.
Yeah.
Yeah, like me personally, I don't really like take for instance the argument that's out there now, the gynocracy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to accept that.
And neither am I.
And the reason I'm not going to accept that is because, okay, if it's the gynocracy, then you're basically saying that the gynocracy are responsible for it. Well, we actually have the power to take our own destiny into our hands. Because it's interesting how we can take our destiny into our hands when we want a foreign group of women.
Yep.
You telling me that we can't take the destiny in our hand with our own boys? Don't tell me the gynocracy is that damn powerful. The last I checked, even Martin Luther King said that the world that black men were thrust into was dominated by males. And so who are they competing with? Not competing with no goddamn gynocracy, they're competing with other groups of men. I don't see what people seem not to get about this.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is like when you have the level of esteem and faith that I have in black men, or black people in general, like you're just not going to accept any kind of excuse like gynocracy.
Mm-hmm. It's that gynocracy doing
Yeah, I'm not going to accept that shit.
Yeah.
Like you're basically saying, okay, now when the question is thrown back, okay, do black men not have any agency whatsoever? Or is it that there's a group of black men that are creating the solutions. They just don't want to follow those solutions.
It's one or the other. It's one or the other. Yeah. And
The other interesting thing about it is that a lot of the pushback that I've been getting makes the assumption that everything that black men do is specifically or exclusively for women. Because it's almost like that black men, even by other black men, aren't allowed to have any whatsoever manifest destiny or aspirations to manifest destiny. No, like everything is for the gynocracy. Oh, we're just here to serve the gynocracy. Like, I'm not accepting that shit.
We're here just to bow down to our women and not get shit done. That sounds like some cowardness. That sounds like it's better if we wear skirts and they wear the pants. If we want to keep 100.
It's almost an implication.
Yeah, that's the message that these dudes keep spewing. You know, that's why Cerulean, when you even this mission you're on now, trying to debunk a lot of this information. Also, you're trying to remove all these little excuses these dudes are complaining about. You know, because it's not gonna help you. It's not gonna save you. We can't have two women in the room. One has to be the man with the balls, and you know. You get me?
Look, somebody's got to fucking lead.
Got it. Yeah. Got it.
And if you're not going to do it, then what I'm saying is that you have to stop complaining about the women that are doing it, even if it's a shallow imitation of leaders do.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what you asked for with your enact.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's real simple.
Mm-hmm. Make sure people can hear.
So, you know, you ask should women give the sons to their boy? Well, you know, somebody else is going to teach them how to be a man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the woman.
I mean, it's really just that simple. Like, there's not a lot of whole. There's not a lot of intellectualism that needs to go into that. You know.
Mm-hmm. And it's surprised if anyone would fight even me with the subject matter talking about this, even posing this type of question. You know, it's evident. You know, unless they like the environment they're in now. You know, it's one or the other. Either you're comfortable with this degenerate legacy of this environment, or you want something really changed. You have to make a decision. You got to pick now. I'm saying, and most men that stepping up, continue stepping up. It's that simple.
There is no such thing as failure.
Right.
No failure.
No failure.
You're not allowed to fail. You at a fucking deficit as a black male. Hell, one of my peoples, he got in some trouble. Guess what? First thing we're gonna do, go find you a gig. Guess what we're gonna do with that gig? You want to pay back what you fucking owe. Like I tell people, what's the old rule, Chaos and Professor? When you fuck over the family, what does the family do to you? They fuck you up.
They fuck you up, yeah.
And we make sure you're good.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Because when I was on that QRF team and I fucked up, I had 20 niggas on my ass.
Mm-hmm.
But when they fucked up, we were on their ass. Even my wrestlers. If we get one bad report from your teacher, hell, you can ask them right now. You got Pitbull Drill. And Pitbull Drill was even before my time. Volume down. So guess what?
Mm-hmm.
When we fucked up, you had to wrestle. And sometimes we might have guys from the legacy. That's like the legends from Madden. When you had the niggas from Lloyd Cox, who was 2 times, he was the number 3 in the state. He was the bronze medalist of the state of Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
You had Larry Brown, my head coach, Maurice, my assistant, who's the head coach now, but assistant back then. Damon Lewis, who was also a science teacher, but he was also another assistant coach. And then you had all the other wrestlers 2 minutes apiece picking your ass apart. Which, guess what? There was no failure and there's no weak link. You fucked up, the family fucked you up. Guess what? We discipline in silence, we congratulate in public. What's more manly than that? Please tell me.
Mm-hmm. And back then, even from your upbringing now, Charles, you very see lack of that now in some of our society, especially as men. To even hold enough accountability is telling. And I know some ladies will say it's hard, and I say, yeah, but life is hard. You know what I'm saying, once you have children, sacrifice got to be made. That's why, if you remember, you asked this very bold question, Serena, last year when I first came across you, when you were with a bunch of ladies in the panel. How many are you willing to sacrifice your sons for this reality you want to be comfort in this?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, so, what's interesting about that is whenever I will put things quite plainly like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had a lot of the guys that are against me right now. They celebrated that.
Shit.
Right?
Yeah.
And now, when now I have to put the shoe on the other foot, when the pendulum I have to swing back the other way. Oh, all of a sudden, everything I'm saying is nonsense. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Sound
But
like
it's true.
Mm-hmm.
How many of your sons you willing to sacrifice?
Mm-hmm.
Well, sacrifice one of the core values of the great regime.
Mm-hmm. Valor, honor, and a bunch of I don't really know all of it. I think it's 4 pillars, my girl. Yeah. Sacrifice is one of those things. And when people hear the words, and notice when you hear the word sacrifice when it comes to the Negro, it's like they start getting the itches. They say, what you say? What? Like some foreign language. Like I'm speaking in different tongues to them.
No.
You gotta sacrifice. How do you think you got to this position, especially in this country?
I'm glad you said that because that's a man's duty is sacrifice. Why do you think in Fort Benning our motto is what, Cerulean?
Follow me.
Follow me. We don't make excuses. I can't lead. No, motherfucker. It's follow me. No matter what. You want to turn a woman on, tell her, no matter what trouble you get in, I'm going to lead you to fucking victory.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I was wrestling, follow me. Guess what? I might not have been the best talker at that time because sure as hell nobody can talk better than the old folk right now.
Mm-hmm.
If I couldn't say it through words, you're going to see it through actions. Follow me. Even when I lost, people said, man, when you lost, it was like Superman died all over again. And then when I came back to defeat the motherfuckers who beat me, they were like, man, it was like a fucking swarming army came on that motherfucker. You ain't beating me twice. No man could ever say they beat me twice.
That's right.
Victory at all goddamn costs.
Well said.
Yeah, that's why I've just taken the hard position that I've taken, right? Because they could, at some point in time, you're gonna have to stop crying. You have to stop whining. You can't blame the gynocracy forever.
Yeah.
Okay. At some point in time, you're just gonna have to stand on your feet
Mm-hmm.
and be the man that But I know that you are. That's the thing. Is that I look at a lot of these guys. I look at how they literally sully the reputation of the noble black man of this land, man. Every time that something major in this country has happened is because black men made it happen, even with less resources. So you can't tell me all of a sudden we're making all this progress, and
And it wasn't the gynocracy then, but all of a sudden it's the gynocracy now. But it's all-
Mm-hmm. I think now this term gynocracy, Saruin, is a crutch for a lot of dudes not to do nothing. It's like another form of say, I'm just being passive. I ain't gonna live up to my responsibility or do what's necessary as a man. Cause one won't let me do it. And I say you're not running that game on me. No, sir. Not me. You could do, you will do, and you will do. That's why. What a few words you said that black people should get out of their vocabulary, especially men. If you could recite them.
It's hope, feel, pray, can't. Hope, feel, pray, can't.
Yes. And I go a little step further. This is something that I came up with. When a person said that, like you said, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
They're saying the word wish.
Wish, yeah.
Another one.
Yeah. I tell any black man said, stop saying what you can do, and you said you will do, and you must do, and you're going to do it. I will. You know? And I think this should be embedded to every young child as they get older, even approach teenage, that I don't want to hear nothing that what you can't do. You're going to do, and you will do it. You know? And another thing I don't like, and this word has been used loosely, and y'all might be accustomed to this, where I hear people, especially men, say, I just don't care. No, you will care, and you will take. You will. You know? Because when you say you don't care, that means not only you have no empathy, but you have no feeling, but you're willing not to give a two hoots of another person, especially someone that is part of your race. That means men, women, and children. So when you hear stories when children, babies are being harmed or hurt, I better not hear enough about say you don't care.
Well, especially for a man, right? Because men have to care.
They have to care. Yes.
Because if you're gonna tell me that you don't care, then why are you expecting the women to care about something that you don't?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make any sense.
Don't make no damn sense.
That's why I say, like, if these women sniff the bitch out in you, look, I'm not gonna fucking sit there and tell them how they should behave and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like, I mean, you look out here, just even in these YouTube streets, right?
Yeah.
You can see the men who do not get ran over by women on any panel. I have never seen it with myself. Never seen it. I've never seen it with Charles here. Jay Shine, C Boogie. And I mean, there's quite a few of them out there.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, even Taz. Yeah. I've never seen one of these guys get ran over by women. So it's obviously not the goddamn gynocracy, right?
You're right. You're right. You're right.
And I think it's just a contingent of dudes that want some kind of fucking special privilege and they want to be coddled. They're trying to, get some kind of mystical, magical fucking rights, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're like Obsidian, as weak and flimsy as he is,
Yep.
he has that he deserves the right to first choice, right?
Like he deserved the pickings. Yeah. Because I live a good life. I stay out of trouble. I'm kind. I have never cheated. I should be getting the baddest, you know what. But that's not how the world works, little Negro. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. You're going to do something a little different. And it also is a sense of entitlement too.
Yeah, it is a sense of entitlement.
Serious sense of entitlement. Because say, okay, I do everything in life, so I should be rewarded with something, But But it's like niggas live in an illusion right now. They live in their own comfort box, far from reality. And like I said, I don't mention other people on here and what they do or their contributions to either on these YouTube streams or wherever they say they don't contribute or contribute. I look at the end of the day that the world doesn't have to really be favorable to you, much as because you come in it, you feel you're just going to change it or change females' nature, and
the reality is
yeah,
that
yeah.
The reality is fairness is something that you create.
That's facts. Yeah.
You can say, don't complain about shit not being fair. Create the fairness that you want.
Create the reality you want.
There's no use in complaining about what the women are doing. Create the kind of fucking women you want.
Mm-hmm.
I always find it so interesting. So we can say myth of white womanhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we relate that to gynocracy and like, okay, so black women who just have a slightly better than you have all this control.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, if you take off or if you get a woman pregnant and you have not known, you're still held responsible for that kid, and it's not even by her. Really, it's by that competing group of men who run the courts, right?
Yeah.
So you're talking about things not fair. That's not something that neither you nor the women decide.
Yep.
But it's something that you can create with an organized body of men. I mean, I don't even really get what's so hard about that. For you to understand.
I don't know what's so hard about it too,
You know why it's so hard? Because all men are created motherfucking equal.
I think that's true. Yeah.
No, Charles is on something. You're right. All men ain't created equal.
You know why? Because first of all, masculinity has taken such a goddamn nosedive that we allow failure. We allow subpar predicaments. I'm sorry. I piss greatness. What's the first thing I said when you wrestle for me, Robert? You're gonna be what? An arrogant what? And say
That's
it louder.
right.
You're gonna be an arrogant motherfucking prick. Why? Because nobody's better. You don't go through worse training. Guess what? I don't create men. I don't create soldiers. I create kings and gods. Put a little bit more water in that mop bucket, though. Gonna shine these motherfucking floors till they fucking you see a goddamn reflection. God damn it.
Yeah.
See, the problem is that motherfuckers say it. Guys like Cerulean and I live it.
That's right.
See, you want to see a better man? See, women talk about there are no good men out here. Are you teaching them to be good men? Or you put them in situations where they could be great men? Then don't tell me shit.
I take I have a nephew, 17, getting ready to graduate this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, some of his friends have single parent households, right? Single moms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is the alternative if I say, okay, no, I don't want your friends here. Now leave them to their own devices. And I know that you got friends that come from single mothers. Is he going to be more productive with a single mother?
Nope.
Is he going to be more productive? Or is he going to find something to do with his idle hand and then end up in trouble?
The idle hand is the devil's work. The devil's playground.
And so, I mean, it's a really simple thing. Now, one of his, one of his friends is from a single mom. The father doesn't want a goddamn thing to do with him. The father's been denying him since he was like 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
See, that's the part of the shit that we also talk about too, right? Because when we talk about abandonment, when I say abandonment is the original sin,
Mm-hmm.
you're saying that, oh, you want it to be fair. Look, powerlessness never acquiesces properly to power, right? See, because when you're in a powerless position, you have to take the power from the thing that can impose on you. So I just want things to be fair. I want people to be honest. People that are in powerful positions, they don't have to be honest with you. They don't even have to be fair with you because they hold the power.
That's right.
Now you take that power. Now you create the fairness. Every time this is what I tried to explain to like Amiri, when Taz and I first had our back and forth, even Cynthia G.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time you take one of those institutional positions away by occupying it, you are thereby taking a level of power. When you look at white society, right, then you notice how the Negro never pays attention to the fact that white males are crying because they're becoming a minority in the military.
Yeah, one military dude was very disappointed. He was actually he was frightened. He was scared. To know what I'm saying, even his own race is not even upholding one of the greatest military ever of all time. That's still strong in the world. Not even can't even pass the Aztec test. But really think about this more deeper. I'm talking to two military former soldiers. Isn't it ironic to know say when they talk about the history of military in this country, it dispels the myth that it really truly is black men the ones that really is the real military of this country. If this Caucasoid came and passed the simple basic test in the 20th going 21st century, what it tells you about his role in all these wars?
Is that it's been minimal, if at all.
Exactly. That just dispels the myth.
Let me tell you something. There's a story that's been covered before. McNamara's boys. McNamara's 100,000. Mind you, just before he put out that call for 100,000 black men, who, mind you, rushed to the local recruiting office because he had no problem recruiting them. Because for a long time, we've known the challenges of the military and how they treated black men unfairly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when McNamara put out the call during the Vietnam War, they rushed to service. Had nothing to do with holding up a fucking flag. Had everything to do with not letting that white boy, one, show him up, and two, monopolize that fucking military.
That's right.
And getting their hands on those benefits that come from military service, which, mind you, many of them were robbed of.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, for the simple fact that they knew that those benefits were there, and they thought they were going to get something, right?
Yep.
Otherwise, they would have never went.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what I'm talking about with initiative, right? When I'm talking about gynocracy. The reason why I say it doesn't exist is because of that. Those men didn't have to ask for permission. They didn't ask for fucking permission from anybody. The call was put out, they answered it. That is the strength and might of black men. Every time I hear a Negro denigrating other Negroes in this goddamn country in the disgusting manner in which they do, even take Obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
I know his father is disappointed in him. I know his
Mm-hmm.
father was disappointed in him before he left this earth. And I know he's rolling over in his fucking grave, disappointed at him because his son turned out to be a dirtbag piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
He tells me his father was a fucking Marine. My goddamn father was a Marine. And I'll be goddamn if I let some piece of shit fucking besmirch the good, noble image of this black man. With his excessive fucking whining and crying.
Woo! Say it again. So, see, that's the problem, Cerulean. Motherfuckers on the YouTube streets and in real life get mad with me when I tell them all men are not created motherfucking equal.
Yep.
See, one thing about it is, like I told people before, the black man was the first god on earth. When people thought the darker you were, the more intellectual and the stronger you were. Motherfuckers used to hire us as mercenaries to fight their wars because they knew we're too bitch made to fight the goddamn selves. Why do you think the black man can go anywhere and get any woman he wants?
You don't think that those countries that America has bailed the fuck out, saved, right? You don't think that those people remember the fucking strength, might, and power displayed on that battlefield by this black man? Why do you think all throughout World War II, white men looked at black men with the eye of disdain and disgust because he knew that black man was fucking better than he was
Facts.
in every fucking respect. You're talking about a town. I always find it interesting when people bring up, take for instance, Black Wall Street. A small town. You have literally a town of about 12 to 1,500 people. 300 of them former military, organizing the population into a fucking fighting force, holding off a stronger force of nearly 6,000 motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
And they could not do a goddamn thing with these people that they had to go and call the Army Air Guard to drop explosive devices from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that if the black man had planes at that point in time,
It would have been a wrap. That wouldn't even last that long.
that would have been a very short battle.
Mm-hmm.
Because you take that to 20 years later and you see the Tuskegee Airmen. One of the most, they've had a reputation of having the highest survivability rate in the fucking sky during World War II.
Did they make a movie of that?
Yeah, called Red Tail.
Mm-hmm.
You also fast forward that same 20 years to the 761st Tank Battalion, otherwise known as the Black Panthers. They were so feared in battle against the goddamn Germans because they would hijack German tanks while they were still operable, not even knowing how to fucking read German, but would drive that motherfucking German tank and use it against the Germans themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's the might of this black man. It was because of those men, they were coming back and they would organize the population for a pursuit of black nationalism, which whenever the time came, and in comes JFK, who tries to get Martin Luther King to get these niggas to calm down, right?
Yeah.
And then what happened was, what was black nationalism became a matter of civil rights.
Mm-hmm.
So now you think, okay, because you got civil rights now, at that point in time, the Negro ends up kicking his feet up for nearly half a fucking century.
Mm-hmm.
That was about 2/3. And that's what created the chasm. Really, the lack of viable, masculine, overly mobile black males of this generation.
Black men took a break for over 50 years, made him very passive. Very passive. Yeah.
That's the reason why the Gen X generation was unprepared as it was during all of those years. Because the Gen X generation was left to fend for itself and was still under attack by fucking policy after policy after fucking policy.
Getting picked off by policy if you want to keep it 100. Mm-hmm.
And then here comes along a group of men now in this day and time putting the call out. Now there are men who have answered the call, yes. But the lack of men answering the call, it just shows you just how degraded, how defeated many of us are. Because you have a lot of them using this thing called gynocracy as a shield, as a fucking comforter blanket, right? To stick their hand up under.
Nesting place to nest very well, like the women. Mm-hmm.
Then you have people that say, "Oh man, don't black men deserve to be happy? We deserve to be happy when we fucking win."
Facts. Hey, yo, say it again, man, because they're not hearing this, man. Your happiness is only secure once you win the war. It's that simple.
Why do you think soldiers have a ritual, right? And this is across all branches, right? We have a successful campaign. Garibs, we all fucking celebrate over some fine cigars and some drinks.
Mm-hmm.
That is our momentary the celebration of happiness, of a mission complete.
Some athletes carrying that same tradition when they win the championship. Isn't it ironic? That's very ironic. Now that I think about it. Yeah. You there, Charles? Oh, he probably.
Woo!
Oh, you have to get your cigar and drink right now, Charles? I don't know if you're gonna show it.
I'm gonna do some ignorant shit for you.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna do some ignorant shit for you.
Oh, she's taking the ball to the head. Very disrespectful.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm the king. Matter of fact, Cerulean, you still there? See, I like to tell my wrestlers they are princes in training to be kings. I'm a king in training to be an emperor. And what does emperor mean? It means the king of kings, goddammit. See, what we need to stop doing is lowballing our boys and teach them they can be rulers like us. I'm 37 years old. Cerulean's 38, right?
39.
39. Grown ass men. Chaos the same age as me.
Yeah.
See, I got many more years to rule, but there's certain sections of my life that I'm giving up power to younger motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna allow them to take over the reins of what I don't feel like ruling anymore. I don't have to conquer, but guess what? I still got that broadsword, and I still got that Ikwe on my back with that fucking katana in my left hand, taking heads off left and right. But you know the beautiful thing about it? You know what my queen's gonna do? There's only two things my queen gonna do. Two. She's either gonna ride in battle with me, or I'm gonna tell her stay home and look pretty while I bring these motherfuckers' heads to you right there at your fucking throne step.
Facts. That's right.
How many men could actually get the audacity to say that shit?
Shit, some of them not even living up to the to the performance.
Some of them men are looking for their women to fight their battles for them.
Yeah, they're scared to be called simps, right? Because you know everything that you do as a man is for women exclusively only.
Yeah. Hell, if you get married to a woman, you're a simp.
No, you can't leave down any legacy, right? To train your heirs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm asking some of the females to get online right now. Like Miss Khalid Jane. I want some of the females listening right now to get on here and tell me if I'm lying. I'm trying to make better men for you and your daughters and your granddaughters and your great granddaughters. So is Cerulean, so is Chaos. See, you gotta understand, before creativity and collectiveness, we must have chaos to fuck up the system. Before creation, what must come first? Destruction.
You gotta have that chaos.
And what are three things that a man must be? And correct me if I'm wrong, Professor. He must be a maintainer, a creator, and a destroyer by nature.
That is exactly why in every culture throughout history, male deities always had some kind of a weapon or a tool in their hand.
All of them. Even the ancient deities, you see them with an axe, a sword, and weapon. Why? Because they have to compile all three. And see what I mean by all three, you gotta have all three to really have what we call order. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I was watching some shit on the Nature Channel, right? And I didn't know this about ant colonies, but it's a thing that was on TV on the Nature Channel about ants. There's very few women in ant colonies, right? But reproduction is only chosen by the female ants, right?
Yep.
And only under the auspice that the male ants, right, build, protect, and destroy any invaders. And ants are a real peculiar kind of creature because they go out, they have these things called scout ants, which I just found out. They have these scouting ants that go out and find places to expand the ant empires, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they die, right, if they get killed by a creature, they give off a pheromone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's different types of pheromones that will tell the rest of the colony whether this is a safe place to nest in or to expand the empire, or whether it's too dangerous.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of ants, they make the greatest sacrifice. That's why we look at, and that's why, nature is the best teacher of how the world works. That with ants, if we notice when there's a disaster, what do you see they do? They formulate into and make like a boat and catch on that to carry on the tribe to their destination, to safety.
But because there are so few female ants,
mm-hmm.
and many of those female ants can, become a queen, right? If the queen happens to die or whatever, any of those female ants could literally be propped up as queens,
Mm-hmm.
in which they freaking hyperbreed a nest. And so if you're looking at that as far as I would say an ant colony is probably, in the truest sense, what a gynocracy is.
Yeah. And I never thought that. Yeah.
Because everything is literally done for a queen. But see, when we look at gynocracy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, there hasn't been a king in England since the late 1700s,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Since the late 1700s, there's only been a queen.
Mm. And maybe wonder where they get that model from.
When the expeditions took place, they only sent male soldiers. Why? Because if you bring the females into battle, that's more things that you have to protect. How are you going to destroy things while trying to protect something that you're bringing along, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because now you have to, if you brought the women along, not only do you have to build special provisions for them, right? Special quarters.
Yeah.
But now you have to actually exert more manpower to protect that special quarters.
Yep.
And that extra manpower that can be used to do what? Impose on territory that you're trying to conquer.
Mm-hmm.
See, like what I'm saying is quite simple. What we're up against is a competing group of men, period.
Yep.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to perceive the women as your enemy, then you are my enemy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because even, let's just say the gynocracy is real, it still doesn't take away from what you have to do as a man in fulfilling your role. Like, you still have to face down the opposing group of men, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That is static, that's fixed, that is carved in fucking stone.
Mm-hmm. Can't get around it. There's no way getting around it.
Whether your women are acting the fuck out or not, you cannot get around that competing group of men. That is who your opposition is.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm saying is quite simple. Why the fuck are you waiting for the women?
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. I don't wait for nobody. And I damn sure I ain't wait for women to get shit done. You know? Yeah. I see Nagone, you finally came. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good.
All right, yeah. I fell in. You impressed me. I was on the Black Brain Trust, so I was
Mhm.
kind of kidding. Cerulean, how you doing, brother?
No, great, just staying to go.
How you doing, man? How you doing?
All right.
All right. Yeah, and we have somebody else in here. Who else is in here?
This is Charles Faulkner Jr. It's on the panel as well.
Brother Charles, what's going on? Is he there? I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about competing groups of other men and everything else like that. One of the biggest things that we have to do here with Black people is really, we have to start working better together. And I don't know if that's going to be possible. I don't know. We certainly
Who's
have,
that, Kenneth?
No, that's Nagone. It's
what's
Nagone,
going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Nagone?
What's going on, brother?
You got to get an image, man. You got to get an image.
All right. Well, I don't have an image yet, man, but I'll put one up there. Yeah, I'll get an image of me benching 405. How about that?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
Anyhow, Yeah, I
That's
think
the
we should
goal,
make
man.
that's a goal. Well, you're not hitting that yet. 405.
Go to my YouTube page. You'll see me repping that shit.
Yeah, I'm repping that out as well. So we've been hitting that. We love that steel.
Mm.
We about
Guess
that
what?
life.
I remember one of my ex-girlfriends. She saw me let that shit sit on my chest for 20 seconds, and I'm pressing that shit up like it's no problem.
Nah, I'm not
It
pause
was
repping that,
Like a
man.
boss.
I'm not pause repping 405. In fact, I got hurt on it about
You
2 months
know,
ago.
one of my nicknames was the God of Strength.
Well,
Shit, I'm
well,
gonna
well,
be.
you and I need to get in the gym together sometime, man. We need to get in the
That'll
gym.
be a YouTube. That'll be a YouTube video when it happens. Don't
Yeah, yeah,
worry.
yeah, yo. When we get against, I'll be throwing up the 140s, 150s, one arm a piece. We be doing that, man. You know how we roll.
It's not a great thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Love that steel.
That's what I like talking about. Men who are confident. You got your sons doing great. You're doing great. You're feeling great.
Yeah.
Guess what? When people talk about, oh, you got this major bill that you need to pay, Mr. Faulkner, I said, first of all, call me officer because I earned that shit, and soon it's gonna be sergeant.
Well, you're pressing forward. You're setting forth examples. We're all doing that. We're all parents, and I've raised sons. I've raised sons and daughters, so I kind of have a very good look on it. I've been around the block once or twice, and been to literally to hell and back. So, I can certainly say that. But I see a lot of what's going on. I've backed out of a lot of YouTube because I've seen just too much effery going on, and it sickens me what I see. But to a large extent, I feel as though we talk a lot. A lot of guys come down on the women and so forth. Yeah, these women are fucked up. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you have to choose very wisely in what you're dealing with, because a lot of these, there's a lot of dereliction out there. But we have a lot of dereliction in our community. I know some police officers and other guys who sit back and they don't have any faith in what's going to happen in our community. They're working in it. They're dealing with kids and stuff like this, and they're just I tutor, so I see some good things, but a lot of these people see things from a very negative perspective. But I certainly know one of the things that we do have issues in our community is definitely us working together. And I'm seeing a lot of class issues. I see a lot of other bullshit that goes on that keeps us from really working together. And I think that's a big part. Brothers. I was just with my fraternity brothers just the other day, and we were over at the IHOP on 135th Street on Adam Clayton Powell, and it's a black owned one.
Up here.
It's a black owned spot. And I said,
Well, put the
Brad was.
word Major Paul.
I did that already.
Oh yeah.
I was like, there's only, we're gonna sit, we're gonna meet up where we own stuff, and I think we have to start thinking more along those lines. It's as simple as that. I really do believe we have a lot of things that are separating us. The relationship issue between black men and black women, it's a problem. Whether you want to agree with it or not, or people can say you this, you weak, or whatever. I'm not interested in all that. Bottom line, very simply, is we do have some major issues here, and how we're going to address those issues, I don't know. Too many competing factors, but I know certainly for men, for us, it's very important that we that middle ground, especially brothers who have some level of resources, sit back and really in some very key ways. I see some brothers, fraternity brothers, actually very sharp guy. He's buying up brownstones in Harlem, and he's dealing with a whole group of black investors, along with my bank, Carver Bank, who's linking
That's
up.
excellent.
And I'm seeing some institutions coming together to stay in Harlem, man. Because if you don't do that, you're out. You're out of there. So I see some good things going on, but we have to, get past a lot of talk, and we got to start putting resources and money together. A lot of this talk is bullshit. You got to put your money where your mouth is to some degree, and you got to put your time in with working with your people. And I think that's where the rubber really meets the road more so than anything else. We can argue over many different things, but until we get back to the fundamentals of really us sitting down at the kitchen table and talking about real issues, business as well, I think the rest of the stuff is just fluff. We're not gonna cure cancer here on YouTube. That's for sure. And all that and all the
Exactly.
stuff that's going on over here. The madness that I see, which I've stepped away
You
from.
know what's funny, Nagone?
That's the big piece. Yeah, anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
You know what's funny, Nagone? I talked to a buddy of mine, and I said I'm sick of the way the department treats me and other black officers. I'm gonna make a fraternity and a sorority, and I'm gonna have to sit down with Cerulean very, very soon on how to make my own sorority and fraternity of black officers.
Facts. That's what's up.
Well, you have the Black FOP, Black Fraternity Order of Police.
We had the Vanguard, but when a man
But it's like this, Charles. You gotta have your own, man. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause remember I told you
we got the Guardians here.
when I created the term, what should we call? Remember that conversation we had, Charles? What should we call it? Remember what I said?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would say that would be, if you can't, it'd be to put that implication like into the fact, you know.
Because I'm about to, especially once I get promoted, I got to make a black Vanguard. We have the Vanguard, but just like you go to college, because people forget, law enforcement is a art of higher learning because you get college credits.
Yeah. You certainly do.
So I'm gonna make a fraternity and a sorority of black police officers, sheriff deputies, correctional officers, armed security, and firefighters, where we tackle the issues of how black police officers are being mistreated, how we can network from different departments. I want to start with my department, and then I want to branch out to others.
I think, and what you're talking about, I think is a great thing. We have the Guardians here in New York, and my father used to do the taxes for the organization, which was really awesome. But he's passed on some years. The Guardians were a black police organization here, still are, and one of the things that many of the Guardians wanted is to keep police officers well treated and so forth, and have respect in the community and so forth. They talked about civilian review boards that had the ability to hire and fire and be linked into the police departments. You had black officers who were big proponents of this because they thought that they could really link that into true community policing and really meeting the needs of the community. And also, yes, giving them a certain level of protection inside of the police force, because these police forces are racist. They're inherently so. Black officers can't do certain things that white officers can and get away with, and so forth. And this is enterprise wide, across the board. I don't care where you are. This is how it is, even in a black city, which sounds crazy as it does, but certainly goes on there. And they talked about some of these things that they considered to be revolutionary at the time, which more people are accepting, but still, the police departments and so forth don't want it. They don't want it because of the network and the way they have, the way they see policing here in this country, which in some respects is kind of problematic for our community. We have so many things that adversely affect us, and it's very interesting to hear your law enforcement professionals who are in the community talking about the issues that they're dealing with internally with these police departments that are against you. They're against their own people. Which is crazy, and they'll even promote somebody to a black police officer to be chief. But that individual, he becomes chief. He ain't looking out for you. He's looking out for the greater good of the majority of the police force, and he may not be your best friend. So I mean, which is crazy, which sounds crazy, but this is what a lot of people do see. So I can certainly understand where you're coming from, and I would wish you all the best in any way that we could help. That would be great to do, But yeah, that's a big issue, and I think that's across police departments, enterprise wide in the United States. A lot of power is given to police departments, and I don't think they want that in the hands of many conscientious black people, especially black men. I don't think they want that in your hands.
Mm-hmm. So Nagone,
Yeah.
to the topic at hand, what is your views and opinions?
In respect to what next? I'm just coming in the conversation. Just bring me up to speed.
No, I mean, not the conversation, but the topic I titled this.
Just give me the title one more time, my friend. I'll jump right on. I'm sorry.
Mothers, should you give your sons to the father?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you want to give explanation.
Yeah,
for the
because
people.
I've seen it. I've seen it with my own brother. That his mother was, I mean, excuse me, the mother of his child was fairly incompetent. She had some real issues. My brother took a hold of it and raised this boy. Had a lot of uncles around. Raised him and raised him to be an excellent young man. And I've seen this on quite a few occasions. Fathers tend to be better single parents than mothers. That's why when we talk about the Gray Faulkner plan, of which one of the things I agreed with was turn those kids over to the to an organization of men to start raising them at 6 years old and start raising them up that way. I think you would have a much better turnout in men than you have today, certainly in the single mother madness. And look at the fight you would get from these black women if you really try to get that done. They don't want to see that either. But yeah, absolutely. I absolutely believe it. I've seen it in my own family. I've seen it in others. That's just what I've seen more across the board than anything else. Yeah, so I think black fathers, on the whole, as single dads, are better parents than single mothers.
Good. Yeah, and I said this personally early in the stream about you should, because if you want the men that you expect to have, it would be more wise, the man that you chose to lay down and have that kid with, if he's around, to send him, give your son to him and let him build a better man than what you expected, just for the sake of, so you could look at your son 10 years down the line to see how he come out, you know what I'm saying, to be proud of.
Look at these effeminate, crying, sucker-laid ass dudes even running around here in the manosphere.
Hold on.
Screaming like bitch ass hoes. I can tell from the second I look at them that they're raised by a single mom. But they call themselves macho and men. I piss on that.
No masculinity at all, man. They sit there, have the mannerisms. Hell, they even start wearing a dress. Even when people give buzz about these celebrities, and I tell people, celebrities are not the best representation of black men.
Well,
I don't know why people keep investing time in them.
Not at all. But I see a lot of this myself, and I've raised my own son and all this, so I know what time it is. So my brother raised his boy, and I know what it is. I know what it is to raise children. I know what it is to raise boys, and I know what the game is about. I'm in it, and he's 28. He'll be 28 in May. So I kind of what's going on with this, and yeah, we definitely need dads more engaged. The system itself plays a role in separating families for some rather nefarious reasons, and certainly our community has been under immense assault. And I have another fraternity brother of mine, a very sharp guy, who works for a documentary company, and he's putting together a documentary.
If you break from
and all that. And can you hear me?
Say it again. I don't know if you broke up. Yeah, I hear you good.
No. I'm saying, the influx of drugs that have come into the community from the crack era, and how it broke a lot of us down and did a lot of damage. Oh my gosh, just looking at that, and he got into some detail on it. I've been looking at some of the early footage on this, and this is very, very devastating. So we've had some very savage attacks, but it was designed to break up the family to a large extent. I believe that this was, without question, directed and designed for our community. So we've been under immense assault, and we've tried to adjust to a lot of it. We've had a lot of problems based on that, but I think we have to also recognize what a lot of our problems have been, as opposed to talking about who's really at fault to a large extent. We have to look at the genesis of a lot of our problems, and can we, come up with some level of a solution for it. I think our solutions are somewhat are simple to be done, but can we do it is another question. And we've got some huge rifts in our community at this stage, and
Hmm.
certainly trying to reform this family and the derelict nature of many of us, especially our women and men in the relationship game. It's this is going to be a deep challenge.
And I feel some are up to the task and some are not up to the task. And like always, like Charles said, what was that, Charles? That there are some men, or man, why I slipped my mind, but some men are not gonna live up to the challenge.
Well, it's if you want to look at a community, it's on both sides. So it's men and women. It's a collective
Mhm.
effort. I don't see that coming down right now. I could give you a story. I was just going to the, I was literally going into the city. I was going to do this tutorial program I was working with two Sundays ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago. And I'm going over there, and I'm at Scarsdale train station, and there's nothing but white folks, and there's one black lady there, and it's me, and we're online, and I'm working, and I'm trying to get on the 809 train and make sure I can jump on that real early. I didn't want to drive into the city and deal with all that. And I'm online, and here's this black lady behind me, and young black woman, and she said I cut her off in line. I said, oh, I didn't think I did that. But anyway, I said, listen, whatever you're buying, I'll buy. We're in Dunkin' Donuts. I bought her a coffee and bought her a donut, bought whatever I had to buy. And she looked at me as if I had shit in her soup. Literally. I mean,
Mm.
this gave me a nasty look, and was so bad it was that when I came back the next morning on the next Sunday, the proprietor of the store said, I felt so sorry for you. I felt so bad for you that this woman would treat you this way. Well, what was, he was an Indian gentleman and his wife, and they're Hindustani, so they have a very strict way of how they see things. And they kind of looked at this woman like she was uncivilized. Like in their view, if somebody shows you respect, grace, and honor, you're supposed to return it. If you don't, you're basically uncivilized. You're not a civilized being in many ways. And the guy was like, like, I couldn't believe I felt so bad for you that she would do this. What did you? I was like, what? He goes, and you bought this for her? And oh my gosh, and the way he started talking to me, it was almost like I started feeling bad. Like, oh my gosh, like almost he wanted me to curse her out. Man, I wasn't going to do that. But it's a black woman. Nothing but we only two black people in there. And she looked at me like I pissed on her, and it was like, what is this? So nah, man, we've got issues. We've got issues, man, and they're serious. So I know others
Mhm.
may sit down and say what they want, but we could talk about the genesis of them and get into great detail on that. But at the end of the day, we have issues. We have issues. We do.
Yeah. Like I said, at the end of the day, with the issues, and all of it can be corrected, once we get ourselves in a certain position, because I look at the end of the day, these issues are only going to get even worse, because it's a mental issue with a lot of people, because the environment that the black men don't want to uphold and try to
The
what they
who?
call it, impose the environment, and we don't impose enough, that is creating more monsters and create crazy people amongst our communities, by the day. You know what I'm saying? Especially how things are gonna be structured now. What's already here, not coming, what's here now, that's gonna really draw a lot more people. You know, it's gonna be
Well,
it's gonna be interesting in the coming years, with all this,
I would like to hear what the other brothers think.
Okay. Cerulean, Max. Cerulean and Charles. And Max, I see you there. Let me do this.
What was the question? Because I had to regulate shit for a second. Because I had to go upstairs to regulate some shit because there was some shit at play. Oh, so what happened?
No, go on.
So what was the question or the comment?
Well, I'm sticking myself on mute. Oh no, I was just wondering. I don't know if you heard what I said or what I was speaking about. Just kind of, getting your guys' feedback. So I haven't really heard. I'm just jumping on the hangout. I haven't really heard what you guys, kind of what your positions were. So I'd be interested. You know, you did tell me a
I'm
little bit
cool.
about what's going on with your police department, and I do hope you get that sergeant's job because
I'm
that's an
praying.
important one. That's an important one.
I'm praying to the Creator and all the gods. Well, what was the comment made towards the police department and everything else?
No, nothing. I just think the police departments, in my view, are are kind of they don't want to see very conscientious, critically thinking, black men in charge who are
Well,
gonna be
what
fair
the hell
about
you
it.
think? What the hell you think I'm going through right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you got to look at what I'm going through. I'm the only black man to pass the fucking sergeant's test in my entire district, 300 and some odd officers,
Hmm.
and they're giving me hell. So when people say you don't understand how this feel, get completely the fuck out of here with that shit. Okay? So
Mm.
when I talk to people about shit that's going on in our communities, I'm only telling you the truth. I'm only telling you what the real is. But yet, I got motherfuckers telling me you don't understand how we feel. Bitch, I'm the reason why you feel it all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one looking out for your sons. But yet, I'm shitted upon when it comes to, oh, you're somebody different. Like my black skin goes off when I wear a blue uniform. When you got a black cooper, you got fucking white sergeants with a black lieutenant looking at you like you don't deserve to be here.
Yeah, that's a problem.
You got to think about it. This is the reason why I can tell you why the plight between the black man and the black woman isn't equal.
Oh yeah, I mean, we there's no doubt about that. I mean, we
When
certainly.
everybody when Bell did the vote told you don't trust what a big butt and a smile,
Mm-hmm.
but yet they get all the fucking coaching and all the teaching from all the sergeants. I go to the fucking sergeant's fucking exam, the written part, with a fucking respiratory infection, coughing for 3 hours, passed the test without even studying.
Mm-hmm.
But you would think I still got to fucking maintain a child. Hell, you might as well say two boys, my wrestlers, and all kinds of other shit. The reason why shit is racist is because we don't race to fucking take care of that problem our goddamn selves.
Well, you certainly have a system that is that is controlled, but by mayonnaise folks, and they regulate what kind of black people get in there.
And then you got to look at it. Even in my police department, there's like 3 black females who are like captains or majors, like either district commanders or district XOs. So where's the black man gonna fit in all this?
Got to make a spot. We've always been here, so
Yeah.
they got to make a spot. And in a city like Baltimore, which is very black, even though Elijah Cummings he just passed, but yet a very black city, and with immense issues.
And here's the fucked up point: is that I tell a lot of brothers and sisters, like, look, why don't you support me? Well, it's different when you become an officer. Like I'm not still black. That's because we still got that slavery mentality that we think the white man ice is colder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, we don't think that. There are many of us who swear that is the total case all the way around. It's not they think so. They thoroughly believe that, and if you press them close, they'll tell you that. If you press them close enough,
You got to understand that this is the black man's mentality. They think, in their heart of hearts, that the way a white man treats them is better than the way a black officer would treat them.
Oh yeah, well, but
They'll
we
even
also
tell you. They'll even
we
tell
also
you.
know statistically. Don't we know statistically that black officers tend to kill black people less than white officers do?
Very much so.
Do we know that statistically? So therefore, since that is the case, that still they're treating you better, but yet they're killing you more.
That's because
It's backwards thinking. They're going. It don't make no sense. How the hell they treat you better, but they kill you?
Oh
So they
no,
really- they do what they treat
that's the craziness of it. But anyway, go ahead.
But that's also the reflections of how black people still think if a white man cuts off your arm and hands you a bandage, he's treating you better than we do.
Is Cerulean here? Where's Cerulean?
Oh, I'm still here.
It's brother Cerulean, man. Weigh in, brother. Weigh in. I rap, man. You and I haven't rapped in a minute, man. Let me hear from you, fam.
I'm here.
Go ahead.
And Cerulean Chaos and yourself correct me if I'm wrong, but has that not been the case in the last 500 years? Motherfucker cut off your foot, he hands you a bandage, you still think he's good to you.
That has been the case. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I don't think there's any question. I mean, there may be some folks who may question that. I don't know if we here.
But yet I'm wrong for coming in neighborhoods where I live, saying, let me hear what's going on, instead of just arresting the whole bunch, which I have all authority to do.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But yet I'm the one to get questioned. I've been called a racist by black folks, pulling them over, and you got 7 people in a fucking car, no seatbelts.
Yeah, I've been treated well by police for the most part, and any issues I ever had with any police officer have always been white police officers as opposed to black. Most of the black police officers I know in Harlem and other areas are very good people, no nonsense guys, but good folks, and they know the deep seated sense of racism.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to police, I think I've only ever been treated well by black officers. Like every once in a while, there'll be that one who forgets that he's still wearing a black uniform under that blue one, right?
Yeah.
For the most part, black officers, for the most part, treat me much better.
Yeah,
I'll say the one time I was actually treated fairly by white officers when I made a citizen's arrest like a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like I said, I haven't had any issues, and especially all the black officers in my gym that I'm with, I'm very close with, and so those are some wonderful cats, and and I tell this one brother, he's a police officer in Mount Vernon. I know his father, I know him, and he's like, yeah, his job is really tough. I can't tell you, Carl, how's some of the crazy stuff that's going on I've been doing. It's like, brother, we need you out there, because boy, if you ain't out there in every place, you one of these other folks, man. Oh man, oh my God. So he was appreciating hearing that, but at the end of the day, we need a certain type of black officer out here, and it's tough because the politics are rough, especially when you're dealing with especially like around my area, these Italians and Irish and so forth. A lot of these guys, and some of these Latinos who side with others as well. It's just some tough customers. There's some tough business. And they're against you. They ain't for you for a lot. It's difficult. So I know the game. It's no joke.
But see, that's the folly of shit.
Well, I'd be kind of interested, with you brothers here. Who which one of who believes that black fathers would be better? I mean, I tend to agree with that. I don't know if what Brother Cerulean feels, or you, Charles, or whatever. Officer Charles, what do you guys think? In fact, I already know, but I just would like to hear it.
See, my thing is that I grew up with a belief, especially with my father and my mother, is that you're not allowed to make excuses. You're not allowed to say, "Oh, this is hard. I can't do this." Nigga, you better.
Mm.
My mother said, "I don't want my son to wrestle." There were two males, actually three, who said, "Let that boy be a man." One was my father, one was my godfather, which is my great uncle, which is her uncle, and one was my wrestling coach.
Did you play sports all your life?
Oh, he probably-
Are you there? I don't know. Seems like
no, he's there. Give me a second, but yeah. Well, like I said, I gave my answer in the go in that question. Obviously, it's really, to ask the question to give the same answer.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Well, I was always athletic, so, but when you talk about under collegiate or scholastic sports, I didn't play till high school, but lost my first match wrestling, but I won a championship my first year competing.
it's really. Were you involved in athletics in high school?
Say again?
Were you involved in athletics in high school?
Yeah. That's a linebacker.
Yeah, football player. Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
I think that shapes character. That's what I think. I think sports shape character.
But you got to understand, I had three men in my corner too. My father, my great uncle, which is my mother's uncle, and my godfather,
Mm.
and my wrestling coach, who said, "Let the boy be a man. If he fails, let it be on his own merit. If he wins, let it be on his own merit."
Mm.
And my mother could not help but to bow down to that superior intellect and knowledge.
Mm.
See, the problem with this is that you got women out here who think they can be the mom and the daddy.
Well, they've been told that they can do that. They've been told that they don't need a man.
To
They've been
be told and to actually do it
Mm.
is two different things, isn't it? Ago,
I
I had
think
a
it's
dude 5 years
just
ago. I had a dude 5 years ago tell me that his mother told him everything he could be a man. I said, "You are a goddamn fool."
well, a lot of these they thought that, but I think some of them are seeing that's not the case today, but many others still feel it's a power thing. We have a power thing in our community between black men and black women. It's a power struggle. I even look at some of the stuff that we see today, and even with this latest kerfuffle, which a lot of people are making a lot over this this DJ Kid thing and all that, there's a lot going there, and I don't see a lot of people talk. I see some people talking about it, but I see some black women not wanting to speak on some of this kind of stuff. And I think if we're going to deal with each other and deal with each other realistically, we got to talk about some of our issues. Black men, we get hammered pretty hard, and that's okay.
That's the reason why when I was on
all right.
that's the reason why I was on the Mary's panel when I forget one of the ladies said that we're going through the same battles. I said, "We're not going through the same battles." I'm not trying to shit on women because everybody knows, even Cerulean said of his own lips that he doesn't say anything when I go in on the black woman because he knows goddamn well I'm ready to defend the black woman with my life and to kill her to die for her. But at the same time, if I'm willing to do that, you're going to give me your utmost and undying and unchallenged respect.
Well, it's a two-way street. Am I correct?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
if you want to die and give your life for them, I feel that they should be willing to do the same for you in return. Not necessarily in the same manner, if you will, getting out in the street and doing battles with you, but they should have your back all the way down the line.
Oh, trust me, my lady now. If I say that, why you got him off? Like for example, why is he clean? Why is one of my wrestlers here cleaning the house? It's a deal that me and him made. That's between me and him. I said, so do I need to say more? She said, no, you do not. And went downstairs and waited for me till I come downstairs in the bedroom.
Well, no, you go. I mean, you have to have, and I've seen many who don't share those feelings. And
That's why I said before, how does a man deal with an unsubmissive uncooperative woman? He doesn't. See, the problem with this is, come back me up, fellas and ladies. A lot of these dudes who whine about women is because they're trying to chase women who are not a part of their programming.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I want to get a woman who's not a part of my program? You asking for failure. You asking for challenging. You're asking for shit that's gonna fail you in the long run.
well, my thing is, I feel most brothers, if you got your head right, you're not chasing behind these women. You are improving your game. You're on top of, you're focusing your program, and anything that comes into your purview has got to operate within that. And if it's not, it's got to go, and I don't care who it is.
See, the problem is that you got too many people believing, oh, when a woman, I had over 500 comments when I made a Facebook post of how a man deals with an unsubmissive, uncooperative woman. He doesn't. All these women said, well, the man needs to prove, I said, I don't got to prove a damn thing because you already see my greatness before you.
Well, let me ask you, what kind of man has to ask? Do you really have to ask for submission?
See, this is the problem.
Do you really have to ask for it? Because quite frankly, I think it's a big problem if you have to ask for it.
I don't have to ask for submission. Chaos doesn't have to ask for submission. Cerulean doesn't. I know there's some YouTube personalities who've been asking. I don't ask for shit.
Yeah.
If I walk into a room, in the words of Bret the Hitman Hart, I don't ask for respect. I demand it.
Mm-hmm. And if it's not given, you gotta keep it moving.
Guess what? I always have my suitcase packed when it comes to relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm not afraid. See, this is the point of me. I don't care how bad a bitch is. I don't care how good she can get fellatio. I don't care how fat she is. Guess what? There's always somebody better.
Right.
Isn't that what they tell you?
Well, my old man told me many years ago, one bus, miss one, catch another, keep it moving. So that's kind of where he was coming from.
Miss one.
A lot of these dudes got
15 minutes, one coming. See, the problem with it is that the black man has relegated himself to what the slave master relegated us to, is to be a buck. Fuck and dump. Okay? I'm worth way more than that. When you got a guy who can solve your problems, when you got a guy who can be the sympathetic ear, when you have a man who can be the protector, the provider, the problem solver, and the procreator all in one without question, that's value within itself.
Well, there are many don't value. There are many out here that don't value from the beginning.
And that's why I don't even deal with them.
They don't think it's worth it. But all the men I know, all the men I'm close with, they none of them are bucks from that perspective.
Exactly.
I don't
trust me. The men that are in your circle, right? I'm pretty sure they're upstanding, fine men who make good damn money, and they don't even sully themselves with the lowest of low.
There is no reason on earth for me to roll with anything less.
Exactly.
All right. Hey guys, I have Maximus on the panel. What's up, Max?
Woo!
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
All right.
He's not just maximum black, he's maximum overdrive. His blackness is an over motherfucking drive.
What up, y'all? Yeah, Mickey, y'all hear me?
Yep.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, look, man, I'm looking at the topic, right? Okay. I'm not sure. I think I understand what you mean. You mean should the mother give the child to give the boy to the father? And what case are you talking about? Like, what instance are you talking about?
This is not nothing biblical. This is just in general. If the children of these mothers is raising these boys and they get a certain point where they get older and they get feisty and they exude that masculine energy and they can't handle them if they get in trouble. It's like this. You remember the movie?
I got you. Well, for one, if they get to that point, it's too late. Okay, that's too late. All right, now I think that she should give the boys over in some cases, and in some cases, no.
Okay.
Not in all cases, no. But if she's going to give the boys up, preferably about maybe 3 or 4 years, anywhere between 3 to 5 is a good time to give them up to the father. Okay. If it's 16, 17, 15, man, forget about it.
Not even 9 or 10 years old?
No, well, you can still do that too, but preferably anywhere between 3 and 5.
Between 15 and 17, you say you waste your time, give them to the father, right?
Oh yeah, man.
Who was that? Give them that weight at the age.
I actually think that there's some truth in his statement because
but before we go off into another thing, let me clarify what I'm saying, right?
I think
that when the boys are getting, excuse me?
I said I think there's some truth in what you're saying there. I think so.
Oh, okay, yeah. He said that now when they start getting feisty and stuff like that, around what, 12, 13, they start getting that, the testosterone start building up and they're starting to feel their little man or whatever. At that time, it's too late.
Yeah, because he sent him over to the father. He's already fucked because the mother done fucked him up. They done told him all kind of bad shit about that. Fucked him up already. Sent him over to the dad. Only there's going to be a problem.
Yeah, because he's going to be challenging his father, and he might.
I know of a situation like that now. So that's why I have it's unfortunate, but I have to agree with some of that because I'm witnessing some of this right now. With a friend of mine who actually had a child with a woman, and she kept the child, and she was basically one of these kind of very hoish women, and he could not stay with her. And I told him years ago, don't marry a hoe because this is you're gonna have a problem. But anyway, he ended up doing that, and then he ended up stepping off because he couldn't deal with how the mother was. He didn't listen to me, of course. But guys don't listen to you when you give them good advice. They don't listen, especially when they're thinking with the little head. So he didn't think, and he got caught up, and then he ended up. This was back in 2000. So she tended to raise this boy, and she would leave him with all kind of people, and she'd step off and go traipsing around the rest of the world or wherever the hell she the stuff she was doing, and different dads. And I ended up calling her. I ended up saying she was a Jack Bona. She was a Jack Bone, vagabunda type. That's what I called her. And she was out there just doing all this craziness, But then he ends up, she sends the kid over. He's about 8 years old, and he's trying to take care of him. Then he goes back to his mom, and then he got the kid again back when he was about 11, and now the kid is about 19, and he got him a little bit older. He got him about 12 or 13, and the kid came back into the house, creating all kind of problems, and and just a lot of issues, and this guy's got a nice house and everything paid for and all of that. He's doing very well, and the kid has been a problem where he just I said, listen, you got to send him out, Dave. The kid's not listening to you. Took his stepmother's car. He's got a car, but he took hers and drove it around, got into an accident with it, then came back thoroughly talking shit, and then he started swinging a dog chain at his father. His father had to grab him, and I said, listen, it gets to that point where this kid's surly and not listening to you, thinks he's got everything, talking to you, cursing at you and all that, and because he's got all those issues. His mom fucked him up when he was young. Now he's back here acting crazy, and he decides to square up on him. He's got to go. He's got to go. Because at some point in time, this thing is going to come to a point where it's not going to be a good thing. So so he
wait a minute. What do you mean? What do you mean the mom fucked him up? What do you mean by that?
Your dad abandoned me. He didn't do this. He ain't shit. He ain't this. Blah, 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 blah. He's been giving him money all the time. But he ain't, talk.
Well, let me ask you this: was the father in the picture at all?
Father was in the picture, but mom didn't want to have him. Mom used the kid as a method of control. Utilizing dollars and money, and he was bum rushing the show, but she was stopping a lot of stuff and moving and disappeared. She disappeared for a year. Didn't even tell him where they were. Disappeared. Took off. Bang, zoom. Moved from where she was. Bang, zoom. Gone. Nowhere to find him. He was tracking him down. Just to get into the craziness, it's ill. But she fucked him up and then said he abandoned him. And there were a lot of lies. There were a lot of lies caught up in the middle of that. And, this has been ongoing since 2001. And here we are now, 2019. Here's this big ass kid, surly and as fucked up as he can be. Not studying in school, bullshitting around, not taking care of business, goes to a great school, just got a new BMW. Acting like a savage. So I'm sitting there saying, well, here's a kid driving around a car damn near nice as mine, but yet he's over here acting like a savage. And he's got two other brothers, half brothers, who are doing their thing, and but yet this kid over here, it's a bad scene.
But that's the perfect time to send it to his father. You know why? Because fathers have this thing that mothers cannot do. That's called punch that little nigga in his fucking chest.
Yeah, but when you punch him in the chest at 18, let me just say this. I don't know if you have kids of this age. I've raised them. I've been down this road. And I've seen what this is about. At a certain period of time as a kid's age, it's one thing if you're teaching a kid wrestling and you're teaching them skills and techniques or whatever, and that's one thing. But when he's your son, he's your blood son, and you're up in there fighting with him, swinging on him. And he's coming there with disrespect because his mother told him that his dad wasn't shit. And these other men that she had in there who ran in and out of the house, ran left and right, and they came in, gave him whatever he wanted, and then left, took off, and a series of dudes came through.
Guess what? There's something that men do that women don't. We toe the line. Okay? Yeah, that's the perfect time to punch him in his chest. You know why? Because if you don't punch him in his chest, you know who's gonna whip his ass when he gets out there in the street doing surly shit? Is the police.
Hey, listen, he got hit. He got
or other Negroes. You know what I'm saying?
One day he walked out of the house, said, "I'm taking the car, I'm leaving, I'm stepping off." His father grabbed him, threw him to the ground, blackened his eye. You don't know. It's been a death. I'm not going into all of the shit. I'm just saying,
I know because I've been to calls like that. Because guess what? I hate to call the kid a lost cause, but at the same time, see, this is the thing I hate when that nurturing spirit. I hope there's ladies still listening to us. This is when a nurturing spirit becomes too detrimental. It's when that nurturing, when you give a child, you compensating because you're trying to give him everything he wants.
Well, I told him, listen, he's got some money in his savings, not a savings account, but he opened a college account for him. Kids fucking up in school, bullshitting around, hanging out, vaping, doing this vape shit, and hanging out with a bunch of kids, vaping all over the joint, and acting, just acting a fool. And I said, listen, give him some of his college money that he's not going to use to get a place, or send him out back to his mom, and wish him well. Because I said at this stage, he ain't swinging on my son. There's no way I'd be swinging on him. And I told him by the time.
You don't have to.
13 years old.
I think there are other methods you could use. Like one of them is, first of all, I would be questioning the hell out of the mother.
Well,
she would be getting the third degree. You know why? I want to know what she put in that boy's head.
Well, he knows. Well, he tells him. Yeah, man, mom said you abandoned me. You didn't say shit. You ain't shit. You didn't look after her and all that. And who's gonna look after a woman who's over here saying stay home right here? Well, I go out and fuck this nigga. Too many men ain't gonna stand around for that.
You know what? At the same time, this is when you sometimes guess what? After I punch you to the fucking face, if I didn't want you to be around me, why the fuck you're living in my house driving my car?
Well, because it's nice and easy. It's in a nice house.
No. See, this is why I question the man. This is why I question the man too. Did he ever make him earn that shit, or did he feel something?
50-inch TV.
Shit, girl, lay down.
She's butter laid. So yeah, why you want to leave the butter laid?
My thing is,
now you got to go out here and
not to talk about your mans like that, but I question him as a man because you never made this boy earn shit.
Yeah,
Well, nah,
yeah. I'm about to say, what
I
about
mean,
putting them? And
pe-
what's wrong with? And what happened to
people
putting them to
try.
work?
People push. He was working. He stopped working. He's been challenged in the system all day long. He tries to stick to it, but he comes out of it. You know, he at the end of the day, this is the deal. This is what you have to deal with. See, because violence only begets violence. At the end of
No,
the day, when you
well,
when you
no,
can't reason people,
I do not disagree with that. I disagree with
let
that.
me finish. Let me finish. All right.
Yeah, let me
After a
finish, okay.
while, when you've been raised to not to respect this man, and then you send this kid over to the dad to take care of him. That's why this other brother who got on here said by the time he gets 17, 18, man, fuck it, it's finished. There's a lot of truth to that, because by the time he gets over there and his mother done filled his head up with so much shit, and you have to understand how kids' minds work. You know what I mean? If they with their mom and their moms tell them all kind of stuff and they believe in their mom, but yet their mom is fucked up and they've listened to a lot of fucked up shit.
Guess
And then
what?
you bring it,
Let
and then you bring him to the dad. You know, to try to reprogram his programming is a difficult
let
thing.
him, because guess what?
And
Life
at
will
the end of the
humble
day, he really doesn't like his father. He doesn't like him.
him. Guess what? If you don't like
Jealous
me,
of his brothers and all this kind of stuff.
if you don't like me, you don't need to be in my house.
And
I'm
that's
not
why
gonna feel
that's why
sorry.
he's
I'm
gone.
not gonna feel sorry for you, because
That's why he's gone.
number one, he's feeling guilt because of that bitch.
Who's feeling guilt?
The father. He's feeling
Father ain't,
some sort of guilt.
father ain't feel no guilt. Father knows his mother's a Buddha. But
No. He's feeling guilt towards the son.
no. At the end of no, well, his son is his blood. He loves him, so he's gonna try to take care of
Guess
him, right?
what? I could love you from a motherfucking far.
Yeah, well, you know,
Like I told my girl right now, I said, you better than me, because her son just came out of jail from some stupid shit, which one day I'll tell the whole story about. And the son, like, you didn't send me no commissary, no care package. I said, as soon as your son said that, I said, okay, get it on the best way you know how. I said, let my fucking son curse me out and yell at me like I never was there for him. See, this is what black culture doesn't do, right? Black culture needs to say, you know what? Fuck it. I want you to get it the best way you can get it.
Well, let's put it like this. This young man is out of the house. He's living with one of his friends. His mother saying, "Well, you know, we're gonna get you to come move back over there. Go back over there."
Fuck him.
And that's about the short and long of it.
Fuck
You
him.
raise children to adults. You see them from kids, you raise them to adults. You see a lot of things.
Fuck him. Because I've seen my nephew, when I had to put him out of my house, I literally cut all the power off. See, men will go places where women won't.
Yeah, we will take it there, Charles.
I said, you know what? You piss me off so much, and we get in a fight, I will put a 7-inch blade in your heart and watch you bleed. Open your eyes up to watch the life come out of you. But because I got that much love to you, and we always kept a promise, we will spar, we will box, we will wrestle, we will do all that shit, but I will never lift a hand against you, and no one will do against me in anger. You got to go. When he found his own place, and he saw how tough it is to be a man on your own 2 goddamn feet, 10 toes down to the ground, he came back crying like, yo, Unc, now I know what you meant. And it's been best ever since. I don't feel sorry for no motherfucking body. Repeating what I said. I don't feel sorry for no motherfucking body. That being said, if you can't respect the house, fuck you.
That's why the kid is gone.
And guess what? The father, and this is what you tell the mother. The mother who wants to be whorish, that's your motherfucking problem, bitch.
Well, that's
people say, well, it's easy for you to say. Guess what? You think I haven't said it already to my son's mother? I'm not telling you shit that I haven't said my damn self, okay? People think, oh, well, you're a police officer, you don't understand. Give me a motherfucking break, please. Give me a motherfucking break. Because guess what? If you old enough to reproduce, you old enough to know better.
Mm-hmm.
You old enough to do better. I don't feel sorry for you. Because if you really believe that if you driving a car that I paid for, that I didn't love you, you in my house at one point, and I didn't love you, then you a dumber idiot than I thought you were. I thought I taught you better than this, boy.
How old is your oldest?
12. I only have one, biologically.
12. All right.
Why? Because guess what? I'll tell you a little story about Austin Falk. When, hell, I had to cuss his grandmother out, his maternal grandmother out the other day when she wanted to challenge me. Oh, well, I want to put him in this school. Well, I could go to other means. I said, look, Carol, I said, what you need to do is shut the fuck up. Because the reason why at 4, he's not at your house with his mother is because I wasn't taking him to school regularly. He's been going faithfully with me. You don't want to challenge me because that's my boy, and I will take heads off of fucking shoulders quickly for him. Take it how you feel. You got 4 kids. 3 out of your 4 did not graduate high school. Now you need to go to your kids and you need to doctor them, but you ain't doing that fucking shit here.
Facts.
And a week later, she was apologizing. You don't challenge me for the throne. If you challenge me for the throne, motherfucker, get your swords ready because we're gonna defend. Because we ready to defend Faulknerdom. I don't give a fuck. Well, I could do. No, you can't. That's why you're asking. Stop bullshitting me. Okay? If you really was about that life, you would have done something by now. But you can't. So get the fuck on out of here. Don't call us. We'll call you. See, I'm tired of black men saying, well, she won't. No, you do what the fuck you gotta do. Do you know how many of my fucking friends, they're fucking baby moms, and I talk to them, 15 minutes of talking to them, go get your daughter on tomorrow. Real shit. Well, everybody looking at me as the bad guy. Why are they? Because you are the bad guy. Who the fuck doesn't let the child see their father? You're a terrible parent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck if she cries or she feels something. One of them hung up on me. And I was like, and I called them back. Motherfucker, I know you didn't hang up on me. Well, I'm sorry. I said, the next time you hang up on me, I'll be at your doorstep, kicking in the fucking door. I don't take disrespect from anybody. I'm tired of that shit. You the strongest man on this goddamn earth. Are you gonna fucking bow down to a woman? That's the problem with the black man nowadays. You bitch made for a bitch. And you wonder why your women don't respect you. Because they could come with any fucking sorry ass fucking excuse and tell you what to do. Fuck out of here with that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's not becoming of a man in my book. That boy don't want to listen, let him live out there. Well, Dad, because I'm pretty damn sure when he gets locked up and he got to do 6 months, he ain't gonna call mom.
Gotta do a bid.
When you in trouble, he ain't gonna call mom. The first thing I would have done with a mom, like don't fucking bring me nobody because you can't. Stupid shit you want. Well, I couldn't handle him. Well, bitch, why the fuck you have a son? Well, why you try to gang up on me? You dumb bitch. Why couldn't you do something about it?
Mm-hmm.
People be like, you're harsh, Charles. You goddamn right I'm harsh.
Because life is hard.
Because guess what? You don't got to deal with these fucking kids out here. I do. Coming up here, 35 years old, mom having, well, he keep bringing his girlfriend. Who the fuck allowed it? Well, that's not fair because, you don't understand how hard it is. Get the fuck out of here with your welfare ass. The fucking government giving you fucking jobs left and right. Get the fuck out of here. Don't tell me of how hard shit is. You pathetic on that end. Well, you gotta understand. I don't have to understand a motherfucking thing. Remember that. Not a motherfucking thing. Because when she goes down to getting child support, I bet you she was there bright and early.
Yep. For that check though.
Was she
Priorities.
questioning that shit? No, she wasn't. So somebody, not the unigo, but somebody could spare me that motherfucking shit. When the real women who want a relationship with their child and their father can't even get that much. So motherfuckers like her can spare me that shit. And can I get a woo on that one?
Woo! Dropping jewels.
So fuck all that shit. Oh, it's so hard. Nigga, life hard.
Mm-hmm.
You're a goddamn man. Like, give me some bullshit like that. I wish a nigga, well, she won't let me do that. Motherfucker, y'all ain't go to court yet? You can keep that child till the court date.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck you bowing down to a woman that's fucking, oh, I gotta give her money. For fucking what? She getting paid just to do what the fuck she do anyway, is open her legs?
Yeah.
The fuck out of here with that. But, shout out to C Boogie, a fellow Baltimore. The nerve of these niggas, the audacity of these niggas.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna tell me some shit.
My bad.
They're gonna tell me some shit about some motherfucker. You better get your goddamn kids.
Yeah.
See, this is the reason why the Gray Fox Initiative is paramount when it comes to the black community. Nigga, you better be settled first before she goes. Because you know why? You think she ain't gonna go to that fucking child support court and rape you dry? Because
Yeah,
you set
nothing's
yourself up
coming.
for failure. I hate to be taking over shit for a second, but that shit gets on my goddamn nerves. I ain't paid child support a goddamn second of my life.
Me neither.
Add a second of my life. I dared her to go to child support. I seen the letters in the mail and I ripped them up. And I called her, you really want to go like this? I said, I will have you embarrassed in the court and you'll be owing me thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Try me.
Mm-hmm. You think she's
I'm a
and they try, you know one thing, Charles, they'll try that bluff. Because they know most men are not gonna do it.
I said, try me. Try fucking me.
I think that
I'm a black cop with a Jewish lawyer. Fuck you.
we tend to overreact a little bit when a woman wants child support. We have to understand that her natural instinct is to nurture her children and do what she can to take care of her children. So there's no man to provide, then she's naturally going to have to go after that man for some kind of resources. It takes resources to raise children.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to fault her for being a mother or being a woman. That they are going to do what they can to take care of their children. I don't think it's any personal issue between us and them. That's just who they are. They're natural nurturers. And it takes resources to raise children. Like I said before, women are natural consumers. They consume resources.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's nothing wrong with that, Max. Because guess what? Women are always going to be more sensitive to the environment than men. But there's a
Exactly.
difference between getting resources for the best possible state of the child, and there's a difference between being a fucking succubus.
Right. But Charles, you see, Charles, you I don't want to say you don't count. You see, you're a hero. So you can say whatever. You know what I'm saying? These other guys don't.
Would you call me a throwback?
No, yeah, man. Yeah, you're a hero though, a real life hero. So you can say the things you say. These other guys can't afford that. That they don't have that. See, a lot of these guys are slacking off. A lot of these guys
Yes,
are
that's
playing
very
PlayStations.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm playing PlayStation now, and I
Yeah.
see See, Max, I like to piggyback off what you said, just if you don't
Hmm.
mind.
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead.
See, this is the reason why to be forearmed is to be forewarned is to be forearmed. If the professor's still on,
Right.
Mhm.
and see, I like to prepare men for battle, for the physical, the spiritual, the emotional, and the mental. You got to understand. Before I had a son, I already had my own house.
Mhm.
When my son was born, 2 months later, I was hired by the department. So when shit go, I always prepare for when shit goes bad. You know, you Navy guys
Hmm.
have to, just like us Army guys have to, when shit goes bad. You know why? Because when that torpedo hits that ship, you either got to jump or you got to be a good damn swimmer and pray that you're not at ground zero when that fucking torpedo hits, right? You got to plan and maneuver. See, a lot of these dudes think with their lower head instead of their upper head,
Right.
and that's where too many men get fucked up, and that's why the gynocracy is such a fucked up thing because too many men are not surrounded by logical, sound thinking men. See, guess what? I wish that I had my fraternity and a lot of things where we could get some owner operators like yourself because when you go home, your wife gets the utmost love and respect from you, doesn't she?
Hmm.
But
Absolutely.
but yet you're the young question leader and breadwinner, right?
That's right.
So that puts you in a position of power
That's right.
and black men into today's in the modern world. Because I don't know if Cerulean's still on here or not, but guess what? You can't look at the women past tense when you're dealing with modern issues.
Mhm.
You got to look at the modern world plus the biological imperative.
Right. But again, we're talking about Charles Faulkner Jr. These other guys, they don't have that kind of status behind them
No, they
or those
don't,
accolades.
and
Okay,
that's
so
why.
they have to, right, and they don't understand clearly. A lot of them don't understand the natural nature of a woman.
No,
Okay, she is going to naturally consume. She is a nurturer. That is what she does naturally. She's an automatic consumer.
oh
And,
yeah,
right, and these guys are like, well, she coming. Of course, she's going to come after you for child support. She needs
of course,
resources to take care of the children you help her make.
of course, because you did not put yourself in a position where you say, "The
Hmm.
hell with you, I'm taking these kids."
Right,
A lot,
exactly.
and one thing. Let me say this. I'm gonna wrap this up. And this is the dilemma here. The lot of men, out of everything tonight's discussion, that should take this that if you're gonna take the extra jump and breed up these women, don't expect that they're gonna take it easy on you. And I hear a lot of dudes that they didn't want to even step into the game because it's hard. It's hard. And I look at them and say, well, yeah, it's hard because I look at you men that make this claim, you're not got your shit in order. So you're seeing to me that a good majority of them are going to be more a detriment than a benefit for the race. To not even step
What
in
it?
the problem, but to know say they tell me say you're trying to voice because this and that. It say to me your shit's not in order. That's how I look at it. You know.
I'm sorry, Chaos. I missed the
Oh,
beginning of that. Say it again one more time.
Um, of the street. Well, I was saying that to a lot of these dudes that make the attempt, how they're not going to knock up a woman much as want even marry because this is what's going to happen to. They're going to get raped by the system, either child support or whatever excuse they make. I look at these men that make these same excuse that they talk about they are men of means. I question that and I said most of y'all guys not got your shit in order. You know, because if you're going to play with sex and a are, this is what's going to happen. And there's going to be a point in a man's life, especially us brothers, that said, playtime is over. You should not be at a
Well,
certain age in life to be talking about you're just having wild casual sex up to your 40s and 50s and then don't want nothing out of it. And that you
look,
think that
look,
you're living life.
look. We have to stop getting the wool pulled over our eyes. A lot of these guys ain't worth two nickels. Okay, they're not. Now I understand some people don't like to hear that, but it's true. A lot of these guys ain't worth two nickels to rub together, and they want to come up here on these panels and hide behind people, upstanding men, okay, and try to ride somebody's coattail to hide the fact that they're irresponsible.
Very
So
irresponsible.
you can't come up here and hide behind a hero like Charles and say, yeah, 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 and throw rocks and hide your hand and use him as a shield. You can't get away with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of these guys try to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Some of these guys ain't had I know a dude right now that ain't had a job in 10 years,
Shit.
living off some woman.
Yeah. And they think it's cool.
Yeah.
And
he
they
does.
think they think they deserve to be a man and say, "Oh, I deserve submission." How so? You're not even providing shit.
Well,
besides
well,
making-
well, it's like I said before on my stream, right? Female submission is an act of manhood. Okay, if
Mhm.
you are a manly man, they will willingly submit.
Mhm.
Your manhood is what takes the submission from the female.
And see, Max, say that motherfucking shit again. Talk your shit, my nigga. Talk your shit.
Your manhood is what takes the submission from the female.
See,
It reaches out and it grabs it.
Can I piggyback off of you for a second, brother Max?
Go right on ahead, my brother.
See, what Max said to you was game. And how old are you, Max?
52.
That's a 52-year-old brother giving y'all game.
Mhm.
See, manhood is unwavering, uncompromising, unyielding.
Yep.
Okay? You set up rules of what the fuck you want to deal with before you even make the baby at all.
That's right.
When Max said the story, excuse me for telling your business, when he said his wife went to the preacher and gave her money, and Max sat his wife down and said, "Don't you ever do that again?" Did you ever have to go through that again?
Nope.
Mhm.
Thank you. Because what did Max do? He laid down the law of the household.
Order, which she had to abide by.
He gave order. Because guess what? Max is the pinnacle to his wife. She will never find another man like Max willing to give what Max is willing to give her.
Mhm.
That's right.
Am I correct, Max?
That's right. Absolutely.
My lady now will not challenge me on shit. She asked me a question. You don't want a woman to challenge you? Hell no. I want a woman to advise. Because of your feminine intuition, you will see things that I will not. But at my logical level, I will see things that you don't. So I don't want nobody to challenge me, because when you challenge me for the throne, somebody's head got to come off, and it ain't gonna be mine.
Mhm.
Are you willing to lose what the hell are you willing to lose the kingdom that you have?
Nope. I know I'm not.
And that's what I tell a lot of Negroes and a lot of women. Well, he doesn't want to listen to me. Oh, men always listen. We just don't always have to reply,
Exactly.
because we know that some of the shit you say is asinine.
Actually, when I'm paying all of the bill, I really don't listen.
Exactly. Like my chick said to me one time, "Well, if I got a man, I shouldn't have to take care of my car or worry about danger." In Charles Faulkner fashion, I said, "You know what, baby girl, you right. But if I got a woman, I shouldn't have to worry about ironing my uniform, ironing my son's uniform, ironing your son's uniform, and washing clothes and cleaning up his room." And you know what she did? She stopped and paused and she couldn't even take a breath after that. You know what she did? She cleaned up the entire house.
That's right.
And guess what? I'm on overtime, and her car is literally dry from oil. So I took my last few dollars that I had in my wallet, put oil in that motherfucker, by my hands, check the fucking dipstick and made sure she was good.
That's right.
See how shit works?
I mean, you got a credit card. You got a credit card in my name. You got money in the account that I put there. You got a card that I brought. Now I ain't got to listen to nothing.
I ain't gotta listen to shit. Woman, are you protected and good? See, my lady had a viciously abusive husband. I shook his hand, and when I shook it, I tried to crush his fucking every mandible bone in his hand and smiled
Yeah,
at him.
make him feel that strength. So Eric does
and
that to any black woman, you're gonna get that's what's gonna happen.
And looked at him. I said, well, because her son is like my son, because that's my son's best friend. You treat him anyway. I told him, and I smiled at him, because people already know who know me. If I smile at you, that means Charles is ready to fuck you up. I said, if you do anything to harm her or your son, you answer to me. And I'm the type of person who make you wish death. And I'm not going to give it to you. You know what he said? He called her 10 minutes later, said, look, whatever that dude got, I want no part of it. I got enough troubles in my life. I do not want that demon in my life. Is that not a man, Max?
That's right.
You got to worry about shit. You know why? Because trust me, why fear death when you got a death dealer? Nigga, I sell death.
You deal with it every day.
Like, so what are you scared of? Even the Bible says, if God's for us, who's against us? You're dealing with a God. See, people don't read those Bibles and those Torahs and those Qurans for what it really tells you. If you're dating, or married or engaged to a God, what the fuck do you gotta fear? Like, guess what? Max is the God of his house. Because if Max don't go to work, who starves?
That's right.
People forget that shit. See, that's the part of Max. Well, go ahead, Max. I'm sorry.
I tell you, I ain't never heard a real man ask a woman for submission. Never heard that till I came on YouTube.
Exactly.
Never heard that.
And have you noticed when you tell your friends where you're from, Max, that when you hear the conversations with these guys on these YouTube streets, they find that homoerotic in its essence. They find it homoerotic. Homo. I can't say the word because I'm trying to be nice and I want to use the word. You get what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. I don't understand what you're saying.
In other words, he's trying to use a word. He's trying to use the G word without getting flagged, if you get what I'm saying.
Right.
No. It's not the flag, but because the comments has been so nice lately, I'm gonna be lenient. I could say it. I don't give a crap. But this conversation has been going so well. I'm just gonna give these LGBTQ people a break. I will not use that word.
He's giving them a slide for today. And see, when Max, who's an owner operator of his own business, said, you know what, baby, I got us.
That's right.
See, she never had a man that says, I got it. This is what I need you to do. This is what I'm going to do. Am I wrong or am I right?
That's right.
And see, when you got Max, and I take, when he called me a throwback, a man of his age, and I call him old, I call that a badge of honor, because when a man of his age called me a throwback, I'm pretty sure that makes him smile a little bit, that we got hope for these younger niggas.
Absolutely.
Like, the fuck I look like? I will struggle on my own. See, when they talk about black men don't take care of kids, what kids didn't the black man take care of? We take care of kids that aren't even our own.
That's right. You doing it now, right? You've already done it several times.
Doing it, still doing it. My best friend and his son, they sleep in both my bedrooms upstairs.
Yeah,
I had to go upstairs. I had to go upstairs and regulate shot. Oh, that's the reason why your teacher said you sleepy, nigga. But daddy, I don't want to hear daddy shit. I told your ass to go to sleep at 9:30. and you still watching TV, I said either you take that shit off your bed right now or my foot go up in your ass before you go to class. Or some Dolomite shit. I said failure is not an option.
That's why I call you a throwback, my brother. He is a throwback.
You think if I go to my mother and father laugh at me. They said, shit, I thought we were tough on you. I remember one time my son disrespected this child who was handicapped, making fun of her. I slapped my own son in front of the teacher. I said, go call the police. Oh, I'm sorry. Too late, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, right.
And then I made my son carry her books for a whole week.
That's what parents used to do back in the day. They didn't, if they catch you bullying another kid, they will whoop your behind.
So don't give a shit. And
You're lucky he didn't get his ass whooped.
Yeah. And the teacher turned a blind motherfucking eye. I said, I came to the class. I said, wait a minute. I said, so why is she carrying her books? I said, see, well, why are you talking about somebody who can't deal with what they physically are unable to do? You don't make fun of people like that. Was she ever nice? Well, she's always nice to me, though. Why do you make fun of her? I said, you're going to apologize right here to her. You're going to carry her books for a solid week. Not 5 days of school week, 7 straight days. See, men, we carry something that's called a penance. If I fucked over Max in some way, I got to make it up to Max and his family.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? If I fucked over Chaos, I got to do something of equal or greater value to make sure the debt is paid. That's manliness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we call making it right.
Exactly.
That's what we call it.
Even times when it was me and my father, and we were at odds, I got to make it right because his name. Guess what? Even to my 62-year-old father, shit that I get sometimes is off of his name. There's shit that my father get off of my name, and if I fuck up, I got to make it right. Like, and see, that's the part when the masculinity is become derelict. When it becomes lacking.
Indeed.
I remember one of my homeboys was saying, well, I like to smoke weed, but Charles, he always drink. And you know, one of my other best friends said to my other one, he said, but can Charles fucking finance his vice?
You know what, Charles? I'm glad you said that because you know who Jerome Bettis is, right?
Yeah. Can't stand the Steelers, but I respect his game.
When he was going into the Hall of Fame, right? Part of his speech, he talked about his father. And his father told him when he was young, he said, son, I ain't got much to give you, but I got a good name. Don't mess up my name. He passed that name down to him. He said, I ain't got much to give you, but I have a name. And he said he took that all throughout his life, making sure he didn't embarrass his father's name.
Exactly. Why do you think my son is a third? I didn't name my son after me. I named him after my father.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know that story. I said, guess what? My father wanted a boy up to his name. Now I said, I'm going to give you something better. I'm going to give you my son. I'm going to give you my son your name. Yeah, we got the same name, but he's named after you.
Yeah. People don't understand that, y'all. When your name is good, people respect you. I've seen people get things for free because they have a good name.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think so many motherfuckers on the street? These are street niggas who said, when you get promoted, we'll throw you the biggest motherfucking party or wherever the fuck you want it. You know why? They said you might have been a cop, but you always treated us like men.
Well, let's hope that never happens. I don't even want to think about nothing like that.
They said you treated us like men. I take it as a sign of honor. Doesn't mean I gotta
Hmm.
take it, but
Right.
but I'm always gonna be clean no matter what. Even when it's
Yeah.
tempting, I'm always gonna be clean.
And you know what? And a lot of these guys, when they talk on the panel, I don't ever hear those kind of conversations. It's always about who's select, who's non-select, and who ain't getting pussy. They don't talk about the value of a name as a man, how your name garners respect from other men. They don't have these conversations.
But that's because they were never judged accordingly to men. When you were playing college football, I'm pretty sure before you got hurt, you were probably a prospect,
Hmm.
especially
I was.
6'4", 320, 350, whatever the hell you weighed back then.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure you were a pro prospect. If you weren't hurt, shit, we probably be looking at your ass in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I was one of the best tackles, and I played guard in the state of New Jersey, man.
So you
Hmm.
telling so you telling me when I coach to this day, it's been 20 years since I competitively stepped on a mat, and I'm thinking about doing it just for my hurrah song. Do you know
Hmm.
one time I came off of work just to go to a tournament, and I was in uniform, and niggas saw my name on a fucking. They were like, "Wait a minute, you Faulkner?" Yeah. There's three coaches brought their three teams just to meet me, and they were like, "Yo, remember we said it was that one guy who was at 171? Yeah, this is Mr. 171 in live in color." They said when we came to matches and tournaments, we knew who was going to win. We just wanted to know who was going to get second.
Hmm.
And that's the honor that you had. Like, like even one of the referees said, they were like, "Man, you don't even know who your coach is. If you knew who your coach was, you'd be so honored." They were like, "What you mean, ref?" They were like, and he asked, "Who would you think will win out of me and him?" He said, "You want me to be truthful to you?" He was like, "Yeah, ref." He said, "I would give you 30 seconds before he would either hurt you or pin you."
You know what I wanted to ask you, man? You know, when I was younger, right? Policemen used to walk the street, man. You knew who the cops were. Like you see them walking up and down the street, they walk the beat. You knew them by name. Everybody knew them in the neighborhood. Everybody was comfortable when you see them walking up and down. So I don't know why they don't do that anymore.
Well, we still have foot units, at least in my jurisdiction. The
Hmm.
difference is now is that is that because of technology, people want to always rely on the car. I get out there
Hmm.
and walk around sometimes, even when my back hurting. I'll walk around and you have some of the dope boys come around. We ain't seen you in a while. I said I'm like Batman. I'm always in the wings. And you know
Hmm.
what they do? They walk. They don't challenge me. I said, why challenge? Why challenge something that you know you're not gonna win?
Yeah, right. You ain't gonna win, so.
Why? Like, here's my thing. You want to go out there, you want to make a fuss about what? And see, that's the nasty part that people don't get. Well, I do. Why we got to do that? Why we got to be like this? Sometimes it's like that because number one, there has to be total line. You're not gonna total line. That's the reason why when women talk about, well, you gotta understand when we toe the line, we don't get too much leeway. That's the point, nigga. You either know what I'm about or you don't do it at all. It's like why you think I'm such a big Ray Lewis fan? Why? Because you came on that field, he made you toe the line. If you didn't respect the game, what happened? Your ass got lit the fuck up, right, Max?
Yeah, I remember he broke my young running back shoulder, man. Rashard Mendenhall
Yeah,
broke his shoulder.
yeah. I actually met him before. Motherfucker's
Hmm.
one of the strongest men I ever met in my life. And for a couple of you who are fans of my YouTube page, I'm not a weak dude. And that shit was like We were having a battle of fucking shaking hands, and he won a little bit.
Oh yeah, he's a strong dude, man.
Dude,
That hit he put on Mendenhall, it didn't even look like he even. It was just a regular hit. He broke Mendenhall's shoulder, bro.
yeah, and that's the total line I talk about.
Mhm.
And when I was in the streets, dude wanted to fight me. I had to break both his arms because he grabbed my gun. That's why BGS always said, I respect y'all in Baltimore. Yeah, at least give a nigga a fighting chance. I don't just shoot us. Even though you grab a cop's gun, that's deadly force.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened is, we're so derelict in masculinity, we don't even say, the difference between police brutality and what was deserved. Like, nigga, no, you violated. You beat up a woman? No, that cop deserved a foot of your ass.
Charles, is it safe to say you don't mind dishing out 1,000 cc's?
No, 1,000 cc's. Shit, we about to get shit. If necessary, we might give him a fentanyl ass whooping.
Oh man, I'll never forget that, man. 1,000 cc's.
1,000 cc's. We might have to go more powerful because we might have to give up fentanyl levels ass whooping. 10,000 times more powerful the ass whooping. See, that's the problem there, is when you have cops you can trust, and that's the one fortunate thing I thank people for. When I had to put my hands on a dumb motherfucker, people trust me to that I wasn't going to be abusive, that, whatever I had to do had to be done. And it wasn't about, oh, you doing this because you're a cop. No, I've done this when I was off duty, when a dude had my niece choking the life out of her with my great nephew in her hands. And as my nephew called it, was the most spectacular ass whooping he ever seen in his life. No, I would do this shit. No, that's the reason why. When it comes down to Cynthia G and all these other women, they bow down to my superior logic. Even Curb, I even told her in the chat earlier, I may not always agree to what you say, but I respect you for being honest. And she said, thank you. Why? Because guess what? I know that you may come from a certain level, but I know that there's men like myself, Max, Chaos, the Professor, Nagone, who say otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. So when you have men of stature and these ladies have their children, they're not going to feel bad when they give their children to the father, because they got a guy like Chaos, Max, Cerulean, Nagone, and others.
That's right.
We don't have strong men. Bullshit. We'll build them.
Mm-hmm. Who is Crew?
Hey, Chaos, don't act like you don't know who is Crew.
I don't know what this is. Yeah.
I don't know Chaos. Hey, Chaos. Hey, Charles, what's up, Cerulean? Hoorah.
You came late,
Max,
Crew,
hoorah.
because
What up?
I'm about to wind this down because I'm pushing the limit already.
Okay, well, can I get one thought out real quick?
Yes,
I'm going to talk to y'all later because old lady's asking for me.
Hold on, Charles, I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this, though. I want you to hear this. It's real quick. Like, my dad is very fucking tough, right? Like, everybody he grew up with, they kind of built like you, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if it's a problem, it'd take the time for us to get there to solve the problem. You feel me? So my dad is strict. His dad was very, very strict. And it gets on closer you get to slavery, right? Because you got to be on code. You got to press the boys. You got to press everybody to be on code. You feel me? If you let up on them or this, that, then now they complain about the females is running them and shit like that. You got to press the boys. You got to press everybody, but you especially got to press your boys. So you know what I mean? It seems like you're strict. It seems like you're oppressive dad or whatever. But no, you're doing what's best for them. And that's how my dad did, and I appreciate that. I rebel from some of it, but I do know that the shit that's helped me through life was the oppression that he gave me. So I know how to maneuver through life. So I just wanted to share that one and see what you think about it. Anyone? Max? Because I know Max is strict as hell.
I mean, that's the benefit of having tough dads, you know. Like I call Max. He's like my cousin from another bosom, you know, my uncle from another uncle, you know. And I can't. There's times when me and Max might not agree, but we always come to a common ground. You know what I'm saying, Max?
Yeah, absolutely.
And trust me and Max are like a 98% of when we agree. And the reason why we may not agree is because, you know, Max is the man. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna say, hey, Max, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but Max been married longer. If I decide to get married, guess what? Max is probably gonna be one of the first three motherfuckers I hit.
Yeah.
What should I do? You've been married for this damn long, so it's a ruling. So is my boy Durham.
I know, right?
You know, my boy Durham been married before Adam and Eve been walking the earth. So shit. And it's funny because, you know, niggas always want to know. Niggas always want to know that I don't think people who always say you don't believe in marriage. The bullshit. I believe we need it more than ever. I'm playing Ultimate. And by the way, I'm playing Ultimate Madden, and I got a 95 Ray Lewis for 90 speed and 95 hit power. So right now,
Hold on, what system? What system, Charles? And why you ain't on the gaming channel?
the PS4, and trust me, I'm knocking Waka Flocka beats out of these motherfuckers with Ray Lewis. Bow, bow.
Yeah.
See, hey, Cerulean, get your boy, bring him over to the gaming channel.
Yeah.
Cause
All right.
we can get down on that too.
Any closing remarks?
Old lady's calling, and I can't disappoint. Woo! Later,
right.
fellas.
All right, see you later. Any closing remarks to all the guys that contributed to tonight's stream?
Well, Chaos, I'll go off first because I appreciate you having me on. I came late, but I do appreciate you having me on. You know, we'll talk. Hopefully, we can get a stream together later on. You know, in the future.
Yeah.
But you know, I fuck with you. So,
okay.
Shout out Chaos.
Thank you. Max.
All right, man. Nah, man, just gonna say, you know, later on, man. I'll holler at you. But thanks for having me on.
Oh, thank you. Respect. And the general himself of the Gray regime, Cerulean Gray. Any closing words and parting, inspiring words? Cerulean.
I think Cerulean is asleep.
Nah. He just came on. He ain't got sleep, man. Cerulean. All right.
He's probably controlling an army somewhere in the world, and he
nonetheless. All right. Well, nonetheless, I'd like to thank everybody for participating, listening to today's stream. Please go back to the beginning parts of the stream. If you missed anything, you know, just go back to it. Leave a comment after every video that I put on Chaos Reign. I want to know your thoughts, views, opinions. And if you haven't liked the video, please don't be afraid to hit that like button. And, you know, share this video. I think this conversation was never discussed. And I think I'm one of the few that had the question put out here. I think the question's answer. And the answer that was given to the women that will go back to us, the reason why. And I know most women will not really go back and dislike or hate what is said here because it's all for love. And ladies, you listen to black men. Why wouldn't we say what's right for the boys if we're not men ourselves? We were once boys too, ladies. So keep that in mind. All right, so thank everybody for listening, and like always, let the chaos reign.
Yeah, man. Peace out.